and, we had him on once before.
Yeah.
Polarizing figure here, but I think the general response we got after that interview was people enjoyed it.
Yeah, he was charismatic. He kind of showed off some of the A-Rod charm the last time we talked to him. And he's kind of been the one person at Fox who's been like, guys, the Mariners are pretty good. I think he might be the only person there who's ever watched a Mariner game, maybe because he played here for as long as he did. I know it was a long time ago. Maybe because it does feel like he kind of would like to get back into the good graces of the fans in Seattle. I felt like when we talked to him, that was like a big part of why he did it, is that he was really trying to say like, hey, I'm sorry. Without saying I'm sorry, I don't know if he actually used the words I'm sorry, but like he wanted to be back a part of the community here in Seattle. Not like he's looking to live here, but just that it felt like there was like unfinished business for him, and it was still an outstanding part of his mind that he would like kind of cleaned up. And so I think he's the only one on the broadcast who's actually watched the team, honestly. And good for him, because each game he's been like, no, I think the Mariners are going to win. And everyone else is like, no way. And I don't blame them. I'm not mad at them. We'll dig into that a little bit more later at 7 o'clock. But, like, I don't think they hate the Mariners. David Ortiz does not hate the Mariners, I promise. Neither does Derek Jeter. Neither does Dontrell Willis. Or John Smoltz or anybody else. None of them hate the Mariners. I don't think any of them have ever seen them play. I don't think any of them have ever seen them play. And it was like an eye-opening shock to the system for each of them to watch. So I'm not mad at them. I don't think that they're evil. They just have never watched them play. It's just hilarious, as they're now 2 games away from going to the World Series. And so, yes, that's the situation we find ourselves in. The Mariners are they're good. Like, they're a good team. They're the best team in the American League. I don't know how many more times I can say this. I've been shouting this, as Maura said yesterday in our email, since the trade deadline. The Mariners are the best team in the American League. They are. Whether they win these next 2 games or not, they're the most talented team in the American League. The Astros and Rangers faded away, didn't even make the playoffs. The Red Sox and Yankees, also wild card teams, they're okay. Tigers, Guardians, I mean, like, not bad teams, but they're not good teams. And then you're left with Toronto. They're okay. Never was particularly scared of Toronto. You want to know why? They're not very good at pitching. And I think you have to be good at pitching in order to win. They got some bats, but even their lineup, like as you go through the Toronto lineup, do you truly think the Toronto lineup is as good as the Mariners lineup is 1 through 9? I don't.
It's pretty good.
It's good, and it's got some guys in the middle that, I mean, look, every time the lineup comes back around to Vlad, there's some fear factor, and George Springer, when he's going well, is very good. I'm a Springer guy. But like 1 through 9, I don't think it's as good as the Mariners lineup is. It's fine.
I mean, they were top 5 in runs scored this year. They led the league in hits, and they were 3rd in OPS. That's a good offense.
Yeah, and a lot of that is playing in that ballpark, which helps some of that. Like, I think they're fine. I don't think they're not a great offense. They're good offense. I don't think look, the Yankees, I think, have a better offense. I know it didn't play out that way in a 5-game series, but like having to come back around to Judge in the middle of that order is truly intimidating. Vlad is good. Mariners totally handled him. So, yeah, you guys can say I'm jinxing the game. I'm not. I've been saying the same damn thing since August 1st. The Mariners just have more talent than everybody else. They just do. And whether or not that leads to wins in every single game, it probably won't. That's not the way baseball works. But they are a better team. They have more talent. They have a deeper lineup. They have a better starting rotation. And they have a significantly better bullpen. Because that's really, of all the problems that the Blue Jays have, the biggest one is their bullpen. It's just not very good. And you've gotten to it in each of these games. Not a huge surprise. Not a huge surprise. So, that's kind of the basics of where the Mariners are at. I will also say it's been entertaining kind of hearing a lot of the response from some here on the text line, but even more so just from friends of mine and people I know who I see just, whether it's at the, youth sports events or whatever. And honestly, the most prevailing emotion or type of conversation I feel like I've had, maybe you guys have had this or I don't know, has just been shock. I can't believe how many people are totally shocked that they're in this position right now. We're like, can you believe this? The Mariners. I was like, yeah, I absolutely believe it.
I don't know if it's so much that people don't think they're a good team. I think it's that we've become accustomed to nothing can be easy. And the 2-0 start feels like, oh, wow, we get to like sit back and take a breath, and Lyle can sleep at night and not come in looking like you talked about him looking last week.
It's true.
Like,
Lyle looked so
he
bad.
Zen today.
He looks pretty good. Lyle, you're a good-looking man today. Last week, I thought I was really concerned about you. Death warmed over. You looked sort of like Lurch in the Addams Family. Like, I was concerned you weren't going to make it. And today, like, yeah, you look pretty relaxed. You look pretty good.
And I probably am in the same boat as a lot of people. We're going into game 5. It was 20 plus years of PTSD that were living in your head. And I'm a little shocked like everybody else too. Where Maura's right. It's not supposed to be this easy for Mariner fans and the Mariners. But
I think what's interesting about it, and it did sort of make me think, if we got the Pied Piper, or at least if Mike Macdonald got the Pied Piper analogy wrong yesterday, I think I can get this one right. And there's a bit of boy who cried wolf element to it. Because a lot of people, I'm not putting myself alone in this, have been saying the Mariners are a very good team, if not the best team in the American League, for 2-3 months now. This is not new. We've been talking about this for a while. And it's not just me. It's a lot of people in the national press as well. People who look at it from an actual, wholesome perspective, the whole perspective, rather than just, cherry picking a game or two here and there. And they say, oh yeah, the Mariners are the best team. You've heard Morosi say it. You've heard Passan say it. Right. And that's just on this station, but others as well. I mean, we've played sound from plenty of other folks, Tim Kirchin and others. Who else? Buster Olney. I've talked to people.
Some of those insiders saying executives within baseball. So.
Exactly. So we've played that sound. We've talked about it. But I think there's a boy who cried wolf element to it. And I'll put myself in that category because there have been other times before where those same people, including me, have said, well, I think this team's really good. I think they could win the World Series. I think they have this. And then they've unfortunately not delivered on the promise that they've had. But, I mean, people who are watching have clearly looked at this lineup, especially since the trade deadline, and said they're absolutely worthy of going to and or winning the World Series. Especially because this is the last thing, and I know you guys get mad when I say it, but the American League is down. It's just not a good year for the American League. And when Passan comes on here at 8:30, he and I were texting about it yesterday. I'll say the same thing. That's why I can confidently sit here and tell you that all the teams that the Mariners are passing, they're not that good. And the Mariners are. So I'm not trying to like denigrate what the Mariners have done. I'm not trying to diminish it. They've beaten them. That's what you do to teams that aren't as good. You find a way to beat them. And they beat Detroit. They're up 2-0 against Toronto. It's not over yet. You got to go finish the job. You know what would be really sweet? Win the next 2 games in a row at home, not have to pitch Brian Wu, and then start him in the World Series. That would be pretty sweet. That would be pretty awesome. And they're fully capable of it. Fully capable. So I understand the shock. I understand the surprise. I understand the, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening feeling. Believe me, I do. I'm not mad at anybody about it. It's awesome. It's a beautiful thing about baseball. But this is real. There's nothing fake about this. There's nothing accidental. They didn't just get hot for like a short period of time at the very, very end like the Rockies did in 2007 or like the Diamondbacks did a couple of years ago, where a mediocre team ends up sneaking in all the way to the World Series just because they caught fire at the right time. They're just a better team. They're better than the Tigers. They're better than the Yankees. They're better than the Red Sox. They're better than the Astros. They're better than the Guardians. They're better than the Tigers. And they're better than the Blue Jays. And I think they're going to end up beating them. I don't know if it's going to be in 4, 5, 6 games. I don't know. But I think they're a better team. And then we'll see what happens in the World Series. Because the 2 teams playing in the National League are also very good. And I think that's kind of that's really where the competition should be. And the Mariners should hold themselves to that standard. With the Dodgers and the Brewers as the 3 best teams in baseball this year. And the Phillies were probably in there as well, even though they're out. 4 best teams in baseball this year. And the Mariners are one of them. And if you're one of the 4 best teams, you absolutely got an opportunity to do everything, reach every single one of the goals that's out there in front of you. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. We got a little Mike Macdonald to get to. Talk about a guy who's high on his team. Man, he is very high on what his team is capable of this year if they can reach their goals. And then obviously just a full day stacked with Mariner conversation. Go nowhere. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
2 down, 2 to go.
And the Mariners extend the lead back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October!
The Mariners go for a commanding 3-0 series lead. Tomorrow, it's Game 3 of the ALCS at T-Mobile. First pitch at 5:08.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can easily find the right home insurance for you, even if it's not with Progressive. But if you don't choose us, then sure, okay, it's not going to work out. We're not going to cry about it or stay awake wondering what our future together would have looked like. We can't get emotionally invested, even if it sounds like we are. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer allows you to easily compare home insurance rates and coverages in one place, even if it's not with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. I love you. I shouldn't have said that.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Right now, receive up to a $25 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Rain is coming. Is your roof ready? The rainy season is approaching fast, Seattle, and 3 Tree Roofing has your roof replacement covered. Get $500 off by scheduling your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com. Their professional installers guarantee a seamless replacement this rainy season. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
They say a full marathon is the ultimate test. For me, it's more than a race. It's a milestone I once thought impossible. Michelle Smallman here, and I'm running my very first marathon in New York City with the support of Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity. Together, we're empowering girls and women through sports and education, with grants to 32 organizations in 21 states. Every step I take is for the finish line and for the next generation chasing their dreams. Here's to 26.2 miles and a future with no limits.
Who knew caffeine could taste this good? With 5-Hour Energy Shots, caffeine just got a serious flavor upgrade. We're talking big flavor, from watermelon to strawberry banana to sour apple, packed into a tiny 2-ounce bottle. You'll get as much caffeine as a 12-ounce premium cup of coffee with 0 sugar and 0 crash. And with 17 bold flavors to choose from, there's a shot for every mood. Find your favorite flavor in-store today or grab a variety pack online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon and give your caffeine a flavor upgrade.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Tree's big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big trees.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Pitching, close games, those are the norm in the postseason. But you know it's kind of fun? A game where you just blow the other team out. An occasional secure win to just help rest a tired bullpen. That's exactly what the Mariners got yesterday in Game 2. Julio got it started early. Then it was Polanco, Josh Naylor adding on.
Swung on and blasted. Right field. It is gone. Josh Naylor, a 2-run home run. The Mariners add on 2 more. 9-3 Mariners. Happy Thanksgiving to Josh Naylor. Back home in Canada, and the Mariners extend the lead. They are up by 6.
Yeah, pretty remarkable. That allowed them to keep most of their exhausted leverage arms just sitting in the bullpen rather than throwing more innings. Big credit to Edward Bizzardo, who goes another 2 full innings, allowed just 1 hit and no runs. His postseason's been incredible. The numbers are a little skewed because he had the 1 bad outing in Detroit. But other than that, he's gone 6 2/3 in his other 4 appearances, giving up a total of no runs on 3 hits and a walk. He has been awesome, and just the rubber arm element of it, you put it together, and yeah, this bullpen has been a huge part of the reason for this success.
Yeah, I thought it was just an outstanding job again tonight by the bullpen. Logan giving us 3, and that was what we needed. And then you hand the ball to Bizzardo, who's been so solid, so consistent all season long, and gave us a nice bridge to get to the later innings. And then Vargy, jumping on after we were able to take a lead. And when you got a guy like Vargy who's able to come in and throw 98, 99 miles an hour, that's a plus. And
it was a perfect spot for him. Kind of risk-free, but get him in there, allow him to throw 100 miles an hour, and, you don't need to use him in a leverage spot, but it was definitely a nice spot to be able to throw somebody who can do that. Much needed day off for everybody, but especially that bullpen today. They'll play tomorrow at T-Mobile. George Kirby against Shane Bieber. Luis Castillo goes Wednesday, probably against Kevin Gossman, and then Brian Wu threw a bullpen yesterday. He could even be ready for a possible Game 5.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Yeah, each time we talk to Mike Macdonald, I'm kind of left with the same takeaway, essentially that he really believes in his team, not satisfied with merely being good. He wants them to be great, and maybe more importantly, he thinks they can be.
I think we have earned the right to expect to win the games that we play if we play our best football. But other teams this league it's a great league, man. There's a lot of great teams, a lot of great players. You got to bring your A game all the time, every day. If we do that, I believe in our guys. But I think that's our mentality.
Yeah, there does seem to be a whole lot of belief, a whole lot of trust, and I think that's why you get some of the frustration when they've lost the 2 games that they have. I'll tell you what, though, if his defense just keeps getting the pressure that they got on Sunday, if they can do that consistently, they're going to win. They're going to win a lot of games. Tim Hasselbeck, pretty impressed.
Yeah, I think they're legit, maybe as good or better than the Rams. And so, there'll be, attrition and injuries, but I like Seattle's chances to win that division as we sit right now.
Well, you win the division, anything is on the table, especially in the NFC this year, where it does not look like any one team is dominant. Even Detroit, even Green Bay, even the Eagles. None of the teams that were really supposed to be at the absolute peak have shown it, at least through the first 6 weeks of the season.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, if you do have eyes on a possible World Series foe, Dodgers take game 1 in Milwaukee, 2-1 the score. Blake Snell, incredible last night. He goes 8 scoreless innings against a bevy of relievers for the Brewers. Of course, LA's bullpen did give up a run, as they do, and even left the bases loaded in the 9th before Blake Trinan finally ended it. Game 2 will be tonight. Weird play, though, last night as the Brewers turned one of the most bizarre double plays you'll ever see.
2. And Muncy skies one to center field. Hit well. This one's got a chance. Freeland going back to the wall. He leaps. It's in and out of his glove, but he caught it. And now chaos on the bases. Might have a play at the plate. The throw. Not in time. No, he's out. He's out. It's a forced play at the plate.
After review, the call on the field, the force out at home plate is confirmed. The runner is out. It's confirmed on the runner at third base when the force out is out.
Wow. Whoa. Truly a strange play. The ball bounced off his glove, then hit the wall, not the ground, but that's the equivalent of hitting the ground, and then then he caught it, and then he threw it home. They touched the plate to get a force and then tagged third base. Unbelievable. Truly one of the most bizarre double plays you'll ever see in your life. But they, not enough for them to win. Dodgers take game 1. They will play again tonight. Couple of Monday night football games last night, both with some level of intrigue. Penix and the Falcons upsetting Buffalo. Bijan Robinson carries for 170 yards. That was pretty good. And a score. Bears get a late fumble on a bad handoff to beat the Commanders. Kraken put their 2-0 record on the line against Montreal this afternoon. Canadians are, 2-1. They get a good young nucleus, so should be good first test on the road. That is everything you need to know, 1/4 every hour, here on the Brock and Salk Show. My God, we got so much to talk about over the course of the morning, and there's so many people to talk about it all with. As I mentioned a couple times, Joe Davis is going to join us at 8, Jeff Passan at 8:30 on video if you're watching on YouTube. 9 o'clock, our friend Shannon Drayer, and then at 9:30, Daniel Jeremiah. So stick with us really for the next 3.5 hours. We've got a ton to do, including let you hear from the coach, Mike Macdonald. How pumped is he for his football team? Well, he won't necessarily give it away with his tone of voice, but I think if you listen to what he's saying, he really does believe in his squad. You'll hear it next on Brock and Salk.
2 down, 2 to go.
And the Mariners extend the lead back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October!
The Mariners go for a commanding 3-0 series lead. Tomorrow, it's Game 3 of the ALCS at T-Mobile. First pitch at 5:08.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, well, you guys know with everything going on in sports right now, you're looking for the perfect spot to watch, and I got to tell you, it is Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The new sports bar is really fantastic. A whole indoor-outdoor concept deal, so you can stay dry and warm inside, but also get some of that outside element, the beautiful views, 66 televisions, great food, and all the fun that comes from watching sports at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Go to snocasino.com. You know where Seattle's closest is. It's Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
It's big, it's green, and it's crawling this way. It's $105,000 in cash, and it's here for you. Survive the Piggy Apocalypse every Friday night in October with hourly drawings from 6 till 10 p.m. with a chance to unearth up to 10 grand. And don't mind the zombies, they won't bite much. Fuel prices got you scared? Save up to 25 cents per gallon at Lummi Bay Market next to Silver Reef by using your Reef Rewards card. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Tire care shouldn't come with extra costs or surprise fees. It should be simple, straightforward, and stress-free. So at Midas, they're rolling out the limited lifetime tire guarantee, included with every tire purchase with paid installation. You'll pay nothing for flat repairs, nada for flat replacements, zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles, and zero for other preventative maintenance. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the limited lifetime tire guarantee, only at Midas.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Yay to Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
The playoffs are here, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are bringing the heat with a rotation that's built to win. The Gas RAV4, built for every inning of Northwest life. Or go versatile with the hybrid RAV4. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and always clutch. And now, stepping up, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra. Redesigned, powerful, and built for big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com and get your championship ride.
O'Brien.
What's better than a zero-turn mower? 0% financing for up to 60 months on your entire purchase. Rick Riz here for Steel, the preferred handheld outdoor power equipment provider of the Seattle Mariners. Take advantage of Steel's 0% financing and up to $1,000 in instant rebates on select zero-turn mowers. Get a comfortable ride and a perfect cut with Steel's American-made mowers. Start easier, work smarter, and finish faster with Steel. Find your local Steel dealer at steeldealers.com.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
This is the Mike Macdonald Show, presented by your local 76 and Conoco stations, exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Yes, that's exactly where we are. Mike Macdonald is with us as well. The Mike Macdonald Show after a win, another road win. Seriously, what is the deal with the road success? Why are you guys so good on the road?
I don't know. I think, I wish we had like a formula that we just dusted off and did it. I think it's probably more along the lines of we're always trying to figure out the best way to operate, and chasing edge is a real thing. Guys do a great job. A lot of our trips are multiple day trips, so I think there's something to be said about kind of being focused, getting on the plane on a Friday. You're kind of in it, and we're together for 3 days. But the guys do a great job on the road. Their mentality, especially this game, was something that we need to be able to build off of.
Any thought of traveling up to, I don't know, Simon Fraser, over to Central, Kibbie Dome, and then Moscow, trying to practice for 3 days away, and then just get on the buses and travel back and play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like a road trip here in Lumen?
Oh, I've thought about it.
Could you do that?
We can, yeah. Methods and principles. As long as Jody says it's okay, we can do whatever we want.
How seriously have you considered that? Because I think it's kind of an interesting idea if the team just seems to react.
I don't think I'd be a very popular head coach in the locker room.
You got to make them think it's their idea. You got to work with somebody. Don't you have a player leadership council?
Yeah,
kind of work with the leaders and make it seem like it's their idea.
That'd be a heavy inception right there. There'd be multiple levels of the dream phase that you have to go down to make it their idea.
When we talked to you last week, you were pretty transparent about your frustration with the tackling the week before.
Yep.
I really enjoyed the conversation trying to figure out what you can do about it and what that looks like from your perspective. A week later, what did you make of the tackling yesterday?
It was vastly improved. It's a combination of things. I think the number one leading thing is our guys just decided that we were going to tackle. It's, because how we're training it, we're going to keep chasing that every week. And I think the other big thing that happened was our effort was very, very good. It was up to our standard yesterday. So, if you do miss, which we did, you're going to miss. You're not going to hit 100% of your tackles. If you are, that means you're not playing aggressively enough. So when you do miss, you need guys to clean it up for you and limit those extra yards. And that's the way the guys played.
Mike, I'm only reporting the story and the facts here, so nothing funny, no funny business about it. But Brady Henderson covers you guys, tweeted this a couple hours ago that Mike Macdonald called out Kobe Bryant in a team meeting last Monday, expecting better tackling from one of the best players. The message was received. Kobe Bryant said, quote, "After the game, that's what we need, honestly," Bryant said. "It was much needed, and I'm thankful for that."
Well, that tells you Kobe's personality and what he's like and how much of a study is. I wouldn't classify it as calling anything. We're not calling people out. We're just
coaching, right?
We're just trying to be great. Yeah, we're just coaching our guys all the time. That's all we're trying to do. Is we're chasing a standard, we're chasing a vision of who we want to be, and we tell each other the truth. We tell it with love. It's how we roll. We coach guys up, and our guys have been awesome, and they take coaching. So I wouldn't classify it as me calling him out or anything like that.
He's got to play a big role, though, this past weekend, right? I mean, you got 3 starting guys out of the secondary. He's sort of the last one remaining starting in that secondary. How important, I know you got the ready squad and you got the guys ready to come in. You got to coach them that way. But how important does he become in a game like that as the last starter left?
Well, Kobe's, he's a critical part of our defense. This guy attacks the ball. You saw yesterday his ability to make tackles in the alley, his range, the presence, the communication. All those things we need. Whoever's playing safety for us, but we need that from Kobe for us to play great defense. And I thought he played a really complete game yesterday. And it's some details we're not going to call him out. But we're going to coach guys up today when we meet and make sure we're really clean on our details here so we can move forward. But he's very. I'm not trying to make Kobe not less important than other guys, but all these guys are important. It's how you play together is what makes you successful.
According to the former fired coaches and former players that somehow grade all of the film for PFF back east, Nick Emanwari was the second highest graded Seahawk defensive player yesterday, behind only Leonard Williams. Does your eye and evaluation match PFF's evaluation, Coach, from his performance yesterday?
It's funny. I think the conversation was actually happened this week with the guys. It was. I think it was at the hotel, but the PFF, look, I respect what they're doing, and they do great stuff, but we don't look at it. It's just like, it's such an easy trap to be like, well, we grade our guys based off of our grades. So I hope nobody's like, it's just we don't evaluate based off of how they evaluate. I think not everybody would agree with that's how you should operate. But Nick played a good game. He played a really good game. He really helps us on the perimeter. Just look at him out there. He just looks. He's an imposing figure out there, man. And there's so much room for growth. There's so much room for improvement. Not saying that he didn't do anything bad or anything like that, but as the game starts to slow down for him, and he understands how he can play things a little bit maybe more aggressively and understand distributions and be ahead of plays more. He's always, if he keeps doing that and keeps attacking that mentality, he's only going to play faster, and that's going to really help him. And he's going to start even making more plays. So, but there's some really kind of some hidden yardage in there that he made tackles in second in kind of hairy situations, third down and hairy situations where he was able to create more advantageous situations for us. Where in games past, we haven't necessarily been 100% on some of those plays, so that really helped us.
17 hits on the quarterback, 7 sacks. I mean, those are pretty incredible numbers. If you got to tell us, I know you're not going to give us the details on how that necessarily occurs in each individual, but who plays a big role in 17 hits on the quarterback?
Everybody. It's everybody. It's everybody. It starts with our plan that we generate as coaches to give the guys a tight, clear plan, which I felt like we needed to improve on coming out of Tampa Bay, one that we can execute and do it at a high level, and the guys buying into that plan, preparing their butts off so they can go take advantage of it, play fast, and then you got to go execute. And in order to hit the quarterback, he's got to have the ball. So in order for him to have the ball, he can't have anywhere to throw. And so it takes everybody to be able to work together so the rush can come alive. And so there's a lot of plays yesterday, as the stats back it up, where we're doing that, and it's great. And there's also plays where kind of one side can improve, and there's opportunities where there's even more. And so it's very clear when you watch the tape. It's exciting because I felt like we did take a step forward. Guys played extremely hard. I think we rushed well together and went off one another, and there's still some plays where I think we can improve on that front too. So we got to keep going to work on it. You can't just say, we're sweet now.
So when I hear you say that there's still more you can do just in the pass rush game after a 17 quarterback hit performance, I think back a little bit to last week and some of the frustration you had that you said was, hey, look, this team's good enough for me to be frustrated at them for not getting over the top. I mean, just taking that forward after a win and saying, hey, I still think there's even more. It kind of leaves me with the feeling that the ceiling for this pass rush group is almost unlimited for what you think they're capable of.
Well, I think we believe we have high belief in our whole defense, and we expect to be our goal. We want to be the best. We want to be the best team in the world. I mean, that's a pretty high standard, and we expect to be the best defense in the league. That's our goal. That's our expectation, and that's what we chase every day. But in order to do that, you have to be the best version of yourself. You have to be the best version of the Seahawks defense to even come close to those goals. That's what we're focused on. And it's positive. I mean, it's going to be great. It's going to be fun to watch the tape and to celebrate guys and having success. I'll tell you what, Leonard Williams had a phenomenal game. I don't know what the stats are to do it.
Oh, he was number one on PFF's grades, Coach. Okay, he was number one. PFF grade number one.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, shout out to PFF. See, I told you those guys are on it. The fighting former Michael Burns, man. He's
That's right.
doing a great job for us on offense. But He played a phenomenal game. He was dominant, and the way he's playing is setting up a lot of guys' success as well. So that's talking about that's team football right there. It's big time stuff.
Is Byron Murphy, just to the eye, and I only get the coach's tape and the TV copy, is he a little leaner than he was a season ago, or twitchier? Is there anything that he committed to physically to be different in year number 2?
I don't want to speak for him. I know he worked really hard this offseason, and he does look like he's in good shape. He does look explosive. I also think it's a little bit more confidence and being able to kind of turn it loose when he's at 3 technique and working the interior rush.
Mm-hmm.
I
wish if I told you all it was like BMI, I'd be lying to you right now. But yeah, he does. He looks great. He looks great.
You mentioned that you've been the Pied Piper with Jackson Smith and Jigba, and it's looking like you've been very accurate in being first on this one. What another incredible performance from him. When you think about him, we're gonna have to find new ways to ask you about him every week. But what allows him to do so many multiple different types of things in the passing game?
It's a good way to ask the same question again.
Yeah.
I think it's a function of time. In order to do that, in order to get down the field and run, a 15-yard out cut or a 15-yard in cut or a post, that takes time. And we lived it the wrong way against Tampa Bay, where it takes too many Mississippis, and that's teams. That's you have to be able to protect the quarterback and give him time. And there's other receivers in the routes too that have to manipulate coverage, or the ball's going to them. We had an opportunity to hit Torrey yesterday down the field where, we want to be able to come down with that ball. And you saw Coop on the through route, on the play action pass. That was like a quick, but all those things, that all plays off one another. And so, you could run 5-step no hitch timing to jacks all day, but teams are going to start taking that away. You can run a quick game to them, or you can throw a deep ball. You can't just do one thing. You got to have the whole, arsenal of all the plays at your disposal. So that's really tough to defend all the time, and take away the run game. So that's the type of stress we want to put on defenses, and right now we're doing that.
I don't know if you want to be the Pied Piper, by the way. I'm just looking at AI. Do you know the back meaning of the Pied Piper?
Actually, I really don't. So maybe
he was
take all the rats out.
He did. It was a German folktale about a piper who rid the town of Hamlin of a rat infestation with his magical music, but then he wasn't paid. So in revenge, he led the town's children away into a mountain never to be heard of again. I don't know if the Pied Piper. I don't know how great a story.
Yeah, I'm a hard time drawing some parallels there.
Hey, can I do, on a serious note, a little football 101? Can you teach me and Mike and our audience what it means to defend under center in today's NFL? Sam yesterday, 50% of his snaps under center. Under center, you guys are number 2 in the NFL offensively at 6.7 yards a play. Obviously, huge explosive plays have come from him playing under center. Just kind of football 101. We're all so used to seeing the QB in the shotgun so much that what does it do to a defense when you play that much, that effectively under center?
Well, all plays are at your disposal. So you got to play it straight up defensively. There's not a lot. I mean, there's times where you can kind of tilt the scales in your favor under center, where teams have indicators and things like that. But for the most part, you got to play everything. As soon as you put the back offset, you cancel out a lot of offense, and that gives the defense the leg up now. There's things you can counter on offense, and that you can play the whole if they know we know game. But that's probably the simplest answer.
Gotcha.
Run game, you can get to way more stuff under center. It goes both ways. The actions come alive more often, more easily under center. You can run movements from pistol and gun, but it just doesn't time up that well, and it doesn't separate the defense as well as the under center stuff.
So with that as a background,
go ahead, Rob. It just feels like Sam loves it too, and he's good at it. So it's easy to say, well, just get under center. Well, most of these kids today have been in the shotgun since 5th grade. He feels like his game almost comes to life, rhythm-wise, timing-wise. Loves when he's under center. Is that fair?
Yeah, even dropbacks under center are becoming more popular in the league nowadays. That was one thing that you used to be able to cancel out. when teams went under center, you didn't see a lot of drop back. It was a lot of quick game. But that's kind of making its revival around the league, which is kind of cool. But you're right, and then that's a testament to Sam. Because look, it's not to your point, Brock. It's not easy to be like, okay, I've been in the gun all the time. Now I'm going to be an under center quarterback. You got to make that commitment. And it's really the conditioning to just go under center every snap in the spring and work that footwork and make it second nature. So now you feel confident when those plays are called. It's a tribute to our coaches. I mean, Andrew Janoko does a great job working this, just tirelessly. Clint, all those guys, making a point of emphasis that's how we're going to operate and get those guys bought in.
Well, and so that probably leads to, maybe the play of the game, the kill shot to A.J. Barner in the fourth quarter. Could you walk us through maybe just some of the thought process behind going for that big play in that moment?
We were trying to close the game out. That's really that simple. So, I feel like we've had this mentality. Sometimes maybe we could be a little bit more aggressive, and I think the game kind of has to speak to you on that. But the general philosophy is we're trying to go win the game. So we felt like that was a heck of a play call. That was great design. Sam got us in the right play and the whole thing. I mean, we're trying to go win.
Is that something you get every play call offensively too, right, Mike? You're hearing kind of everything, or how do you balance that out with the defensive stuff you got to do between series and such?
Yeah, I'm telling Clint what to run every play. I'm calling all the plays.
Nice. You said, why don't you run that over corner? I see that safety sniffing. Is that what it was?
Yeah, that was all me.
Right.
No, it was a great play call. Look, Clint's a great play caller. We got a great offensive staff. I feel like my role is to make sure the ship's going in the right direction, especially, game management wise, that we're all on the same page on what we're trying to achieve given a certain situation. But as a play caller, like someone's telling me what to do all the time, that'd be frustrating. So we got to let him do his thing. And when he does a great job.
Can you help me understand? So one of the big commitments in the offseason was to a more complementary game and on offensively and really trying to get the run game going. And certainly it's not for lack of attempts. You guys have tried to run the ball a ton. For whatever reason, it has not taken off as well as the passing game. Is that teams are stacking the box against you and making it impossible and you're taking what's there? Is there more that you can do in order to get the running game going? What has prevented that from being one of the strengths of the team so far?
Yeah, it's all the above. I mean, we got to keep chiseling away at it. It's not we're just going to give up on our run game. Can't throw it 70 times a game and be the type of team that we want to be. Sure, I feel like we're on record with that, but we've played some good fronts, a lot of great players, some good schemes. So that's part of it. And I also feel like we got to keep attacking, what we're running, how we're getting to plays, the biggest thing I'm seeing is how we're executing it. I mean, they're solid, sound plays. They're plays we've been running since we got here in April. It's not like we're reinventing the wheel every week. We're figuring out new ways to run the same, kind of package set of plays. And, it's a block here, it's a block there, it's a communication here, it's an angle there, it's a how we run it. That it's all these little things. So it's the same thing. Frankly, it's very similar to like the kick return game, punt return and kick return. Any kick return is like 1 or 2 blocks away, and it just shows you how critical each block is. So, and you could play the shoulda, woulda, coulda game, but like that's not going to get you anywhere. It's about keep firing away at it, keep just staying relentless with your attitude and making a commitment to that. We're going to figure out who to block and make sure that guy doesn't make the play, and we're going to block longer than the guy with the ball.
I think I hit on these numbers earlier in the show, Mike. You guys are 5th in the league in attempts, 169 rushing attempts, 25th or 23rd in overall yards, 27th in yards per carry. But then in Philly and San Fran equally, struggled yards per carry wise. But just continuing to run it and to run it and to run it and be committed to that has an impact on 60 minutes of football, does it not?
Totally. I mean, like a wise man, Thomas Hammett, once said the running game is a softening process. And I thought that was wise words. That was back in 2000, whatever that was. But he was right. I mean, you have to play like that. All the things you're talking about with Jax and Coop and the pass game, all those things come to life because we play complementary offense. I really believe that. So
So you guys left on Friday. What time did your team play and leave on Friday? This last Friday?
I don't know.
2:30 in the afternoon, something like that?
No, I think a little bit later than that.
A little later than that.
The plane left like probably 4 something.
Oh, okay, 4 something.
Is that right?
So I know you
caught the end
on...
of we caught the the Mariners game was on.
Yes, that's
the
what I was
whole
wondering.
flight.
Yes,
and then
it's probably all 5 hours of the flight.
And then
right?
not gonna lie, the Wi-Fi was a little not that sweet towards the end of the flight. So, but then once we landed, I'm on the phone, and then shout out to Jeremy. They had it cooking in the like the meal room, at the hotel. So all the guys we were huddled around with a couple guys on their team, which I will not name names, but we're not 100% right now on rooting for the Mariners.
Oh,
which is a problem. So we're working on a couple of those guys.
Wow, guys with Detroit ties?
Yeah. Which,
I mean,
who's paying the bills? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Where's your allegiances lie?
Is there like a kangaroo court available for those players?
There should be.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Hey, just real quick, I know injury updates on the guys that weren't able to go, especially the 3 guys in the secondary. Any of them close, or hope that you could get them back for a Monday night game?
Yeah, we're hoping.
I was just going to let it sit there and see if maybe there was more behind
story.
that.
I want more of the baseball story.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Who's not rooting for the Mariners?
Okay, we're not going to.
No, you got to tell. Come on.
No.
So,
I think it's time to call people
No, it's
out.
our job. We'll be able to figure
We're
that out.
we're gonna call them out in a team meeting.
Yes.
Let's start with the guys who went to Michigan, I think. I'm going to start with guys like A.J. Barner.
Now, the nice thing, we don't have any
No,
Canadians.
AJ's
Do we have
not
any
one of those
Canadians?
AJ.
We have any,
No, he's not.
We have any Canadians? We don't have any Canadians, any Toronto Blue Jays on the roster, right? We don't have anybody rooting for them. Now it's easy.
No. Yeah, now it should be easy. Yeah, it should be easy.
Just choose country over whatever.
Yeah.
You know what is cool
Patriot
though,
or
Mike?
not?
And I said I said this after the game yesterday. One thing that you guys share, you share a street, right? You share passionate fan bases, but you share resiliency. The Mariners have been freaking resilient. Times that they've been knocked down, times that they've been out, road trips that were miserable. They're kind of the opposite of you guys. The road has not always been as kind as it's been to you guys, but they're resilient. Backs against the wall, just resilient. Where does that on your team? You can't speak for them, but
I will say this: like, it is inspiring to watch them play. I mean, they are absolutely relentless, and they're just a fun team to watch, man. You can see like the stuff that we're chasing here is the connection, the toughness, 12, all those things that we I won't say the Pied Piper, the things that we say all the time that we believe in. I mean, you see that on their baseball team. And
how would you like some of the equivalent of a 15-inning game? Would you like a 5-hour football game marathon at some point?
I mean, whatever it takes to win, we'll do.
I'm sure you will, but you don't want that, right? 5 hours.
It's like someone told me before this game, they're like, I think, they gave me a score prediction. They're like, I think it's going to be 34-30 you guys. I'm like, sign me up. Like, we'll go. Do I sign right now for the win? Like, it sucks to give up points, but a win's a win.
All right, there you go. That's Mike Macdonald, who joins us right after every game, and he will on Tuesday next week at 9:30 following the big Monday night game. All right, Mariners, the story. Mariners win again last night. Lyle, I got a number that's going to blow your mind. I'll give it to you next on Brock and Salk.
2 down, 2 to go.
And the Mariners extend the lead back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October!
The Mariners go for a commanding 3-0 series lead. Tomorrow, it's Game 3 of the ALCS at T-Mobile. First pitch at 5:08.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality. trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
If you use the SR-167 Express toll lanes after October 20th without a Good-to-Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good-to-Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at homecomfortalliance.com.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro loyalty for details. Subject to change.
At Bible Law Group, we understand when your legal problems hit biblical levels. That's why you can't wait 20 years to make the playoffs. You need help in court now. With James Bible and his team by your side, don't panic when the giants you're facing seem 10 feet tall or when you feel trapped in a lion's den of litigation. At Bible Law Group, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. When your legal problems are biblical, contact Bible Law and let our talented team get to work. No matter the case, find us at BibleLawGroup.com.
Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years of living in our home, our window seals started breaking. That's when I called Harley Exteriors. They're huge fans of our teams and regular listeners at the station, but what really sold me was their Olympic Series windows, built right here in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. They're beautiful windows that last up to 60 years, and they'll help with noise, too. Harley Exteriors knows you've been spending a ton on playoff tickets, so they have a special deal for Seattle sports listeners. No interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off, and take another $200 off your entire project. They're the friendliest team and so easy to work with. You call the number, and the person on the other line asks, "How can I make you smile today?" Just give them a ring and tell them you heard our ad. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY, or go to HarleyExteriors.com.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
They say a full marathon is the ultimate test. For me, it's more than a race. It's a milestone I once thought impossible. Michelle Smallman here, and I'm running my very first marathon in New York City with the support of Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assists powered by Parity. Together, we're empowering girls and women through sports and education, with grants to 32 organizations in 21 states. Every step I take is for the finish line and for the next generation chasing their dreams. Here's to 26.2 miles and a future with no limits.
Who knew caffeine could taste this good? With 5-Hour Energy Shots, caffeine just got a serious flavor upgrade. We're talking big flavor, from watermelon to strawberry banana to sour apple, packed into a tiny 2-ounce bottle. You'll get as much caffeine as a 12-ounce premium cup of coffee with 0 sugar and 0 crash. And with 17 bold flavors to choose from, there's a shot for every mood. Find your favorite flavor in-store today, or grab a variety pack online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon, and give your caffeine a flavor upgrade.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle sports playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Give me a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Yes, sir, Brock. I have a number that I just concocted.
2. The magic number of 2.
No.
2 wins.
It's not that.
Oh.
But after Lyle, if you remember, went through here's what the Mariners need to do at home if they do such and such on the road.
They had to go 13-6.
Right.
13-6 to win 86 games.
In order to win the World Series, the Mariners need to go 6-6. I'm just going to leave that right there. In order to win the World Series, the Mariners need to play .500 ball for the next 12 games. Isn't that crazy?
Feels doable.
How weird is that?
Feels doable.
Now, I mean, you could probably say something very similar about the Dodgers. That's just sort of the situation you find yourself in. Yeah. But in order to win, if the Mariners went 6-6 for the rest of the year, they would win the World Series.
Wow.
How crazy is
that?
We've
never
to
been.
say
Yeah, I mean, just never been here. Never been 2-0. We've been 2-1.
Yeah,
as Lyle pointed out last night via his email. Haven't been this kind of spot, man. Haven't been this kind of pole position. Haven't had this right in front of you to go take advantage of with now 3 back in your building where you've been the most dominant team in baseball since the All-Star break.
Pretty crazy, man. It is pretty crazy.
So where were you? Just down in the basement?
Yesterday, just sitting on my couch.
Cracking Iceplex?
No, eventually.
Upstairs,
after
downstairs.
the game.
Where were we?
I was just sitting in the living room watching the game, and the kids were off school yesterday, so everybody kind of hung out and watched for a while. Eventually, we
weren't out on the love deck? Didn't make it to the love deck?
There was no love deck last night, Brock. Or we did get to the Kraken Iceplex eventually, as I'm sure you would imagine. But no, just sitting on the couch and watching the game, and as I've said, a million times before, is just a good team. One thing that has been, I think, very entertaining about this run for the Mariners is it's one of the great things about being a Seattle sports fan, being in, quote unquote, Southeast Alaska here, is just watching people, like when you get good, especially out of nowhere, the way this Mariners team has, that no one knows what to make of it. Everyone picks against you. If you were watching the broadcast yesterday beforehand for the second straight day, Ortiz and Jeter and Dontrell Willis all were like, yeah, I'm going Blue Jays, Blue Jays, Blue Jays. And the only person who has any clue, I'm guessing the only one who's watched a Mariner game this year is Alex Rodriguez, because he played here, and he's going to join us tomorrow at 9:30. But everyone else is just like completely blown away. It's like, can you believe this team's actually winning? Can you believe the atmosphere in Seattle? Can you believe it? And it happened in 2013 with the Seahawks.
Yep.
It's happening now. I wasn't here, but I would assume it was similar in 95. It may have been a little different in 2001 just because it had been 5 or 6 years of that team being pretty relevant. But I would imagine it happened in 2005 for the Seahawks. And just the whole baseball world essentially discovering the Mariners. And I kind of love it, Brock. I kind of love that element of this whole thing of watching the rest of the world be like, oh, that team's actually pretty good.
And I do think the reality of it, Salky, a big reality of it, and having traveled, during my previous college football life and being in hotel rooms and on the East Coast and in that time zone on Saturdays and Fridays, it is different, right? I mean, people will stay up to watch Ohtani and the Dodgers at 10 o'clock, 10:10 their time during the regular season. But how many folks on the Eastern Seaboard are staying up till 10 o'clock to watch the Mariners?
Well, they're not staying up to watch Jorge Polanco. I mean, that just hasn't happened, and you could even hear it from David Ortiz after the game.
I tell you what, I like those players that they don't make much noise name-wise, but all of a sudden they come and hurt you. Same thing happened when you playing the Dodgers. You see the big boys quiet, and then the guys at the end of the lineup, they come and do that damage. Every team need that guy. Polanco has been that guy during the playoff, quietly. You saw what he did up in Seattle. Hit 2 bombs off a school ball. Now he come in to Toronto, hit that bomb right there to make it clear that they had that offense going. I mean, that is perfect for them. It's working perfect for them right now.
I mean, it's a really nice thing he says about Polanco, except it's not true. He's hitting 4th in this lineup. He's not hitting 8th. He's not doing it quietly. He's doing it very loudly. He is constantly and consistently putting the team in a position to win. So I do find myself amused. I do think it happens on a national level. I do think it happens even here locally. As I mentioned at 6 o'clock, I feel like the most common thing I've heard from friends and others around is like just a complete and utter shock that the Mariners are doing this and making it look pretty easy here over the last 2 games. And, it is funny just to surprise the world like this.
Yeah, I think the national narrative the last 2-3 years after the Mariners arrived pretty early with young stars or young talent and Julio and such was, yeah, man, if this team right nationally after that can just get to the postseason, they got great pitching, but they can't hit, they can't score, they can't move the ball, they can't put the ball in play, right? And I think that was so much of the national narrative that then when you do get to this season and then you do get hot. And, oh, by the way, Julio was pretty chill the first few months of this season, and this offense was pretty chill, through spurts of this season. And then when it got hot after the 4th of July, like it does in the Pacific Northwest, as we all know, that's when summer begins in Seattle, is after, the 5th of July. And all of a sudden, the moves come, and Naylor, and I think it does. I think it takes the national folks a little bit longer to know what we know and what we started to feel, certainly through September.
A bunch of people texting in and saying Ortiz picked the Mariners yesterday. Kind of. If you were watching, Ortiz picked the Mariners because he said he's been wrong so often that even though he thought the Blue Jays would win, he was taking the Mariners because he was like, I think that'll make the Blue Jays win. So I don't know if he really took them. I truly and honestly, Brock, believe that the last 2 days, well, maybe the last few days, are the first time that David Ortiz and Derek Jeter have watched the Mariners all year.
A full game.
Like like maybe 1 inning. I don't think they've watched them until the postseason, not one time. I truly believe it. I don't think they've watched them one time. I think A-Rod has maybe a little bit, and, Burkhardt has to do his thing, but I don't think either of those guys have ever watched them. I really don't. I can't imagine, and I don't say this with disrespect, I can't imagine John Smoltz has watched them more than once or twice. I just don't think that it came up for anyone outside of a select few in the national media over the course of the year. And so, you kind of watch them now, and they're just doing the same things they've done for the last 2.5 months. Yep. This is the team we've been watching. I know they had that one kind of bad road trip, but other than that, this is just the Mariner team that we've been watching. They're a good hitting team. They're one of the deepest, maybe not the best, but one of the deepest lineups in the league. And then you put a superstar in Cal Raleigh right in the middle of it. They have the deepest pitching staff in the league, certainly in the starting rotation. And they've got 4 guys right now that they can really trust in their bullpen. After that, it gets a little dicey. I'm not going to lie. And Vargas coming into the game and Hancock coming into the game. And it is a little dicey after your top 4 guys in the pen. But if you can score 10 runs like you did yesterday, you get to stay away from that and allow guys like Vargas and Hancock, or if Luke Jackson had come into the game last night, you get to use some of those guys in order to feel really good about what this team can do moving forward. They're better than Toronto.
Now they're going to be in the position that really Toronto's been in the last couple of days, and that is playing as the one expected to win. Now playing with prosperity. The Blue Jays beat the big bad Yankees. They got over the mountain. They had all of the goodwill, all of the emotion, all of the intensity. They had a packed ballpark. They had the expectation that they were going to go and certainly take 1, if not 2, from Seattle, and that didn't happen. And now Seattle gets an off day today, and you come home, and now you play with the heaviest expectations you've maybe ever played with in the history of your organization, save for 0-1. Like, here you are now. Here you are. And I expect them to handle it great. I don't know if they're going to win 2 in a row. I don't know if this is going to be a sweep. I know there might be some adversity that will come, and they've got to respond to and be resilient. And man alive, have they done that and put themselves in one epic position for all of us.
Pretty incredible time to be a Mariner fan, and certainly, we're feeling it from all of you guys. Thank you to everybody who came to the show over the last couple days, listened to the show, watched the show on YouTube, enjoyed Mike Macdonald yesterday. We got plenty of guests for you today. Joe Davis at 8 o'clock, Jeff Passan at 8:30, Shannon Drayer at 9 o'clock, and Daniel Jeremiah at 9:30. Tomorrow, Joel Klatt. Tomorrow, Alex Rodriguez. We're going big, man. Go big or go home. It's Brock and Salk here in the heart of the ALCS. Seattle, Washington. Seattle Sports on 710.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
What did you make of the tackling yesterday?
Vastly improved. It's a combination of things. I think the number one leading thing is our guys just decided that we were going to tackle. We're going to keep chasing that every week. And I think the other big thing that happened was our effort was very good. It was up to our standard yesterday.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
Kids were off school yesterday, so I had an opportunity to just hang out with both of them. And when I get those times to just kind of be with them, they don't have anything else going on, it is kind of, I do find myself thinking about the future of like, man, there's only so many years left before they head off to college. And as you start thinking about your kids going to college and the expense that is associated with it, are you planning well enough for that? And then you start thinking about retirement, which comes, I don't know, hopefully soon after it. You got to make sure you're in the right position. In order to do that, you got to start planning now. It's why you need help from a company like Trajan Wealth. You can give them a call at 206-466-3300. You can call Trajan Wealth and just discuss, how do you optimize funds? How do you deal with an old 401k that maybe, you had with an old employer or something like that? How do you plan for college? How do you plan for retirement? How do you limit the amount of expenses and tax efficiency? All these things that don't necessarily run through my head. That's what they do on a daily basis. So call Trajan Wealth today. Schedule just a complimentary introductory meeting to learn more. 206-466-3300 is the number. That's 206-466-3300 or TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we perform an 18-point maintenance check with every oil change to help make sure you're good to go.
And?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Huh. Wonder why the dealership isn't that easy.
Well, we'd let you know if we found something in our check.
Oh, great. That was easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, thorough, and honest, come with no charge.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Your home for baseball's postseason and your American League West champion Mariners. Seattle Sports.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at PCF Construction. You know, it was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
The playoffs are here, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are bringing the heat with a rotation that's built to win. The Gas RAV4, built for every inning of Northwest life. Or go versatile with the hybrid RAV4. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and always clutch. And now, stepping up, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra. Redesigned, powerful, and built for big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com and get your championship ride.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, usually playoff games are all about pitching and defense and close games, and this was not that at all yesterday. Pitching was good, but really the story was just the Mariner bats, Brock. 3 huge home runs. Obviously, Julio getting it started in the first inning. Polanco with another 3-run shot. Naylor kind of finished it off. But at the heart of it all, what was the biggest moment of the game, Brock? Was it this?
Here's the 0-2, swung on. That's cracked center field. It's hit well. Varsho spins around. He's at the track. He's at the wall. It's off the wall. Garver to second base. He's around second. He wants 3. Here comes the throw to third. Garver sleds head first. He is safe. Mitch Garver, a triple.
It's just rumors, right? It's just rumors. But the rumor is he hit the same miles per hour that you hit when you downshifted in the 5th gear on that UW track at 200 meters.
My dad said that Mitch Garver's his favorite player. He's like, I really relate to him as sort of the old guy. Like, Dad, he's only 34. He's just bald. He's not that old. He's only 34.
But he could pass for 54. Let's be clear.
He could. I mean, you see, he does look like he could pass for 54.
That was a rocket shot. It was contributions from everybody up and down that lineup. JP with some great at-bats with runners on third and less than 2 outs getting the job done to play a little add-on. It was some stellar defense. Josh Naylor makes a beautiful play. I mean, it's just you're doing the little things. You're doing the big things. And because of it, you got a 2-0 lead coming home to Seattle tomorrow.
I joke a little bit about Mitch Garver, but really at the heart of everything has been Jorge Polanco. He's just been unbelievable. The home run yesterday got, after they had kind of given back the 3-run lead, he put them right back into the driver's seat. His manager pretty impressed.
Yeah, coming up huge in big moments. And, just his at-bats have been so good. Whether it's right-handed or left-handed tonight, it was left-handed. I thought the at-bat there to get the 3-run homer was a huge turnaround for us. We had kind of given up the lead. It had been tied up there again, and to get that 3-run lead back was big. And that was just a great at-bat, getting in there and just doing what Polo does. He waits to get a good pitch and he puts a really good swing on it. And he's a tough out right now, and it's been huge for us. And he's come up in situations where we've had guys on, and he's been able to do the job and drive them in, and that's what this game's all about. And it's been phenomenal.
Yeah, Mike, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, he's been very.
As Felix used to say, he's really good.
Yeah.
Jorge Polanco, the Mariners' first player in MLB history. How good to have a go-ahead hit in the 5th inning or later in 3 consecutive postseason games.
Pretty remarkable. They'll take a day off today. The bullpen, I think, is very relieved. Most of those guys get 2 straight days off, which is awesome. They'll play tomorrow, of course, at T-Mobile. George Kirby against Shane Bieber. Luis Castillo on Wednesday. Kevin Gossman probably opposes him. And then we'll see. Brian Wu threw a bullpen yesterday. Could be ready for a possible Game 5. Whatever it is, when they get back here, it's going to be crazy.
I'm just full of energy, full of just an awesome fan base who loves baseball, loves to watch their hometown team win. And I think we really feed off that as a group. I mean, I sure do, and I 100% can say everyone else does. We have such loud fans. They do a great job of keeping the fans entertained in between innings, in between pitches. I love playing there. It's been super awesome. I've gotten so many compliments from friends who've watched me play or ex-teammates I've played with, or even just opponents who I'm playing against, like how awesome it is in Seattle and how cool the fan base is and how they're like ride or die Seattle, and it's super awesome to be a part of.
Josh Naylor just loves it here, man. I don't know that anyone has ever embraced the Seattle Mariners quite like Josh Naylor. He is 100% all in.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Tell you about being all in. Mike Macdonald's all in on this football team. He really likes them, and I think that's what comes across, Brock, each time we talk to him. The frustration he's had after the 2 losses has been about really more disappointment that they didn't play up to the level that they are capable of. And when you ask him yesterday, hey, how good can you be? I think he knows sky's the limit.
I think we have earned the right to expect to win the games that we play if we play our best football. But other teams this league it's a great league, man. There's a lot of great teams, a lot of great players. You got to bring your A game all the time, every day. If we do that, I believe in our guys. But I think that's our mentality.
And I think when you're physical, Salk, you've earned that right in the league. As I watch the entire NFL in totality, I'll dig into this a little bit in Blue 88, but yeah, those teams that can push a man against his will, those teams that can absolutely knock back an offensive line and hit and harass and make a quarterback's life in a quarterback league just miserable. I think those teams have earned the right. And it's not 32 of them. I don't even think there's 20 of them. I think you're in a class of about a dozen of them, and more of them, by the way, in the NFC than I think anybody anticipated going into this year. Oh, the AFC's so much better. Oh, all the quarterbacks. Well, Burrow's gone. Lamar's gone. Buffalo's vulnerable. No, I think the NFC got a lot of those teams as well.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I don't know if you're paying attention to the National League, thinking about a potential World Series foe, but Dodgers end up taking Game 1 in Milwaukee. Blake Snell was just phenomenal yesterday. He goes 8 scoreless innings, and the Brewers had to have a bullpen game thanks to having gone to Game 5, but they pitched really well. They only gave up 2 runs over the course of 9, and LA's bullpen is so shaky. They give up a run. They had the bases loaded in the 9th before Blake Trinan finally ended it with Bryce Turing he strikes out. So Game 2 tonight in that series. A couple of Monday night games last night, Brock, both with at least some level of intrigue. You mentioned the Bills. They lose to Michael Penix and the Falcons. Penix was good. Bijan Robinson was even better.
A 1st and 5. Robinson off the right side, breaks free. Bijan Robinson spinning down the sideline, still going. Can they catch him? They cannot. Touchdown, Falcons, 81 yards.
Yeah, it was 81 of 170 he had on the night. A pretty good day for him. And then the Bears got a late fumble on a bad handoff to beat the Commanders. That was not pretty. Jake Moody kicking the game winner in place of Kairos Santos. And then just to wrap things up, the Kraken, Brock, 2-0. They're in Montreal today to take on the Habs. Canadians
it's a 15-game road trip.
It's only 6. Canadians are 2-1.
2 weeks.
They're pretty good little team. It's everything you need to know. It's only 6 games. It's only 6 games.
Pretty good. Caleb Williams looked much more competent. The Bears looked a whole lot better. Both of those teams, especially Chicago, can rush the passer. Atlanta can really rush the passer. I mean, don't you just look at so many of these games in the NFL, honestly, and the first thing outside of the quarterback and the ball in his hands, don't you just kind of see, can that front four defensively puncture and dent the line of scrimmage and get around and harass the QB? And if so, it doesn't really matter who you are. You have a chance to win. And if you can't, you're probably over 60 minutes not going to find a way to win a football game.
425 says, inquiring minds need to know, did Salk get his rush tickets? Yes, don't worry, I did, for both Chicago and L.A., so I got to figure out what to do. Probably just going to go to L.A. and sell the Chicago tickets, but I'm not ruling out going to both shows. I'm not saying definitively no.
2 shows?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Are they the band that has 6 million songs, or is that the one that Wischusen likes? Are they one in the
I mean,
same?
they've been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
Considering I had to sit here and listen to him and Justin have a conversation about them pre-synth and post-synth or whatever it was,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of material.
Yeah, there's a lot there. I mean, you got
Was
the
Wassel a
70s, the
big Rush
80s,
guy,
the
too?
90s. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Tom and I spent a lot of time
You, Wassel with shoes and
talking Rush and then going to shows. Yeah, Tom and I
Lyle,
spent
do
a
you
lot.
know one Rush song?
Absolutely not.
You probably have heard Tom Sawyer because plenty of guys have had it as their warm-up
The
music.
guy with a really weird, annoying voice.
They played it going out of commercial, like going into commercial. I think in
Betty,
each of the
bam,
last
bam,
two
whoa,
games.
Black Betty, bam,
That's
bam, everything's
definitely
all right.
not it. That would be Ram Jam singing.
I don't even
Betty.
know who Rush is. So.
Yeah, you probably know more than you think. It's embedded in the back.
Whoa,
parts of your
Black
mind.
Betty,
All right.
bam, bam,
Would you please stop singing? Coming up next, I'll give you a choice. Would you rather hear me talk about how right I was for 10 minutes, or would you rather hear some takeaways? Which would you prefer? Oh, takeaways? Okay, we'll do those next on Brock and Salk.
2 down, 2 to go.
And the Mariners extend the lead back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October!
The Mariners go for a commanding 3-0 series lead. Tomorrow, it's Game 3 of the ALCS at T-Mobile. First pitch at 5:08.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Yeah, guys, it is chilly at night. It was very cold last night. I think the first frost of the year. And so if that makes your house colder than you want it to be, you may want to think about a call to Crawl Pros. They'll come out, take a good look at your crawl space and attic. And one thing that can be a problem is you just don't have enough insulation, or maybe it's not working the way it's supposed to. Maybe you don't have any. Well, they'll tell you all about it, and then they'll give you a plan to fix it. But then even better, if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to get a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate the crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95% covered. So you got to act now. Many of these rebates end at the end of the year, including federal incentives. So call Crawl Pros, let them come out and just get your home properly insulated as more of this frosty type of weather ends up coming to Seattle. They are the crawl space experts, and they can learn what's going on behind that crawl space or attic hatch. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Lake Washington Windows was voted best in the Northwest. Celebrate by saving 25% off new Leak Armor installed windows through October. Plus enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest until 2026. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com, a name you can trust.
Do you need a new roof? Then visit 3treeroofing.com to get $500 off your roofing project by scheduling a free estimate. 3Tree Roofing's certified team builds a custom plan for your home using top-tier materials with industry-leading warranties. All of their install crews are factory certified to ensure that your roof can handle any weather Seattle can throw our way. Don't wait until leaks turn into expensive damage this rainy season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today and secure your $500 discount. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at homecomfortalliance.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
This is where you hear the AL West champion Mariners in the ALCS, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
From the Quantum Fiber Studios, you're listening to
6 to 10.
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
There it is, Lyle. A little Rush. Even talking over Big Voice Guy. How about that? Yes.
Little voice guy with helium voice talking over big voice
What do you
guy.
think
It's
of that
amazing.
voice, Lyle? Play it again.
It's so good. Lyle loves it. He could tell that's like award-winning stuff. Yeah, he hits the high notes.
Uh-huh.
Not everybody can hit those high
I mean,
notes.
I'd rather listen to Gunna than that, but sure. And I like Gunna a lot.
I don't want to spend, like, here's the problem. You start doing this, I could spend, like, the next hour or so. Do you know how many Rush songs we have in our system? My God, we have, like, hundreds of them.
because you put one in ranked, like, every day.
Did I
For
really?
the entire time we did it.
I put Camera Eye into ranked? That was smart of me. I'm really glad I did that. Oh, such a good song. All right, I could just do that all day. Instead, Brock, let's go through maybe some takeaways, really more tidbits from yesterday's game. I don't even know if I need music for it. I don't know if we need the whole takeaway music, but just a couple of things that popped up yesterday and thoughts that I had while watching that I thought we could, run through. One, with all of the positive yesterday, Logan was not at his best. Velo seemed to be off a tick or two, which is not a huge surprise given what he had done in between starts. I think this is also maybe a tougher matchup for him. Like, they just don't swing and miss that often. Like, I'm not wild about this Blue Jays team. I don't think they're great, but the thing they do best is make contact.
Yep.
If you know me, you know that I don't value that as much as some other people do. As much as I've kind of come around on the whole, like, all right, strikeouts matter. The Mariners struck out 14 times yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, like, it doesn't matter how many times you strike out. If you walk 6 times and hit 3 home runs, you're going to end up scoring a ton of runs. And that's what the Mariners did yesterday. The Blue Jays are much more of a contact threat, and I think that makes Logan a tough matchup. The 2 or 3 people that should be great matchups against the Blue Jays, and it doesn't mean it'll play out that way. One, Bizzardo, who doesn't miss many bats either, but finds ways to either make you not swing or kind of roll over, and he did that yesterday. Or Wu, who we'll wait and see whether or not we see him in the series. We'll get to him in a minute. And honestly, I think Luis Castillo should have a tremendous amount of success against them because he's so good at throwing that 2-seamer, trying to conserve pitches and allowing you to hit it, but hit it for outs.
Yeah, you could almost see it from obviously the first at bat yesterday. That was nearly back-to-back home runs for Springer in the opening at bat. It ended up being a double. He just couldn't, and I think he talks a lot about the pitch shape and shaping those pitches and spending time to do that. And the shape of his slider yesterday was problematic. Now he also got totally hosed. And Lyle will tell you how bad that umpire was.
Not good,
yesterday.
Doug Eddings. Oof.
Yeah, and he had a 96 painted down in a way that should have got him out of that second inning, still up 3-1. That didn't happen, and they play a little add-on run. So, what do you think of Dan making the move there pretty darn early, right?
Oh, it was
If
absolutely
that's a regular
right.
season game, and it's 3-3. You're keeping him in the game.
Yeah, but you can't do that. And also, you know what? I don't even know whether it was just that. I'm sure some of it was the number of pitches coming off of the performance in Game 5, where he's in there in the middle of that game and going on somewhat short rest. So, yeah, I thought it was actually kind of an obvious move, and Dan made it. Good for him. He did it right. I thought Dan, again, managed a tremendous game yesterday. I think Logan's just a tough matchup for. I don't think they're a great matchup for him, and that's okay. I mean, it doesn't mean he's going to get shelled every time he faces them, but I think there's a reason that Bizzardo was so successful against them yesterday. I think he's like their perfect nightmare.
It really is remarkable, too, in sport. I was thinking about this yesterday, just kind of watching a little of the Monday night game after that, of just how, like, we talk in such detail. And I know we got a lot of great new listeners, and thanks for jumping aboard. It's amazing. But for the P1s and all that, they know how much we talk about 40 times and how much we talk about length and how much we talk about velo and how much over the course of the year between all these sports, we get into some of the nitty-gritty, Salk, but you see the difference between 95 and 97. I mean, is it that big of a deal? Yeah, it actually is that big of a deal.
It is now, because it's
Is a 4.440 that big of a deal between a 4.640? Yes, it is.
I think
really
I would
big
say
deal.
it's kind of the equivalent of the old 91 to 95, like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like you could get away throwing 91, 92 with your fastball, but the guys who threw 95, 96, you're like, okay, well, they're elite pitchers for the most part.
Now it's 94, 95, 96 versus 98, 99, 100.
Yep. Like it's everything is bumped up 4 or 5 miles an hour. And I think you're absolutely right about that. What went through your mind, all of you, Lyle, starting with you, what went through your mind when Cal fielded the swinging bunt, threw it to first base, made a heck of a play, and then winced and grabbed at his upper leg, groin, hernia? I don't know what he was grabbing at, but he was wincing. Oblique? What was your reaction when you saw that?
Not as nervous as you might think.
Really?
Because he never comes out of games.
Nah, me neither.
If it's an oblique, he's coming out of the game. Like clearly it obviously
So
wasn't.
have you ever had the wind knocked out of you? Have you ever
Yes.
landed on a football?
Yes.
A basketball, right?
I've had the wind knocked out of
Have
me.
you ever had your cup come back and kind of hit you?
Oh, is that what happened, do you think?
Oh, I think it was 100,000% as he dove. And catchers obviously have to wear a level of protection that all of a sudden that cup was like
That makes sense. It did not dawn on me that it was a cup-related issue. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I was worried it was he had tweaked a groin, hurt, like oblique, sports hernia type of
the minute
thing.
they went to that replay and they showed a force of where that force
There
hit,
we
I was
go.
like,
All right. Well, good. Thank you. You're actually making me feel even better. I mean, I'm
Good.
sure it hurt.
All right.
Don't get me wrong. But that will fade. It did lead me to this question. What would it take to get Cal to come out of a game? Like, seriously, what do you think it would take to get Cal to not play in one of these postseason games? Nuclear war? I mean, like, what amputation? What would it take to get Cal to not play? How tough is that dude?
Yeah, he is. He's a guy you want on your side, man. He's those offensive linemen. It didn't matter, right? Broken fingers, sprained fingers. My buddy Todd Weiner, who broke his leg in the first round of a playoff game, and they shot it up and taped it up like his lower leg, and just blood. They don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just going to play. I'm just going to lay my body on the line, and he does it. And another reason why. And the votes again are cast, right? It's done. It's over. The 30 voters have all put their ballots in. But my goodness gracious, if you continue to watch the contributions that he makes night in and night out on both sides of the plate and offensively and defensively, it's just, to me, not a...
It's interesting that you point to that as kind of an MVP nod, because I saw something else last night that I would point to as well, and that is they walked Cal with nobody out in the, what inning was that? Fourth? I mean, fifth inning. They put a runner on base in the 5th with nobody out to not pitch to Cal. That's how afraid of them they were.
Or before Jorge's 3-run ball.
That's right. Julio ended up, I believe, striking out, and then Jorge hit the home run. And they just handed the Mariners a run there. I get it. You don't want to pitch to Cal. I'm not even saying he's necessarily wrong. But that's the fear factor that Cal puts into the other team right now. It has been a while. I mean, Nelson Cruz could maybe do that when he was here at his very, very best. I'm sure there were moments where Robbie Cano was kind of at that point, but for the most part, there are rare guys in Major League Baseball that would get a walk, an intentional walk, in the 5th inning with nobody out. That was a real eye-opener indicator in terms of just how afraid of Cal they really are.
Salk, I've been sitting on something here for 10 minutes.
Oh.
I've been sitting on it for 40 minutes. I
Okay.
didn't even want to send it in the show notes. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. What is the term? Is it sacrilege? Is that the term?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Could you define that for me?
Sacrilege?
Latin? Yeah.
I mean, it's something that is so horrible to say because it's like offensive to the religious doctrine.
Okay. All right. Well, this might be a little sacrilege to the former Mariners doctrine.
Okay.
But I feel like I got to say it. Maybe I shouldn't. Be ready to dump this if you need
Okay.
to.
All right.
But I
We're
think
ready.
I need to say this. Do you know what I love the most about these 2025 Mariners that has just bubbled and it's just come to life through September, here in October, a couple games away from your first World Series? I love the fact that there's not some stupid rally monkey. I love the fact that there's no Soto Mojos, no refuse to lose. I love the fact that Mr. Rager hasn't taken over and been played everywhere. I love the fact it's about these guys in this team. More than it is any slogan, more than it is any song, more than it is anything else. It is about these players, this coaching staff, this community that's like, no, we don't even need any of that stuff. Like, we don't need to go back to those things. We just need each other. And I, so far, have freaking loved that. And I just felt like I need to get that out.
I'm glad you did. You don't think Humpy is in danger of taking over that role?
You know what? I super appreciate Humpy. I
Well,
really do.
yeah.
I at the time I didn't like the witch and the curses and all that other
Right.
stuff.
I mean,
That
she
was
saved their
fine.
season, the
Yep,
Etsy
that
witch.
was all fine, but let's be very clear. That's not the conversation. That's not what's leading.
I've
social
not heard a
media.
lot of Etsy witch conversation
Nope.
recently. I would agree. But I will ask you this. You think Humpy wins tomorrow?
No.
You don't think so?
No. So they die off. They run every 2 years. They're the weakest of the salmon species.
I
We
know you
that.
say that, but like, you think Humpy can go back to losing after that dramatic win?
I think Humpy's going to have an injury. I think they're going to put Humpy on IR.
You think Humpy ends up retiring?
Bring a carp in. Bring a rainbow trout.
I'll tell you
Bring
what,
something else
that
in.
is not the worst thing I've ever heard. Honestly, like, because I was thinking about this early this morning. Like, I don't know what you do with Humpy.
Right.
Does Humpy win again? Is that it? Like, does he go back to losing? That doesn't feel right. It felt like Humpy really broke some something in the air, some I don't know, like
And let me
voodoo
be
hex
clear,
curse
as
thing.
a schmaltzy guy in my past, maybe this is part of getting near 50. I loved Refuse to Lose. I love Soto Mojo. I loved all of those things. But I love even more that it's not anything about it, it's just the guys. It's this team. It's the pitchers. It's the relievers. It's the batters. It's the manager. It's the hitting coach. It's the pitching coach. It's Jerry. It's just right. It's just the team.
Yeah, no, I think
that
that's
is
right.
being celebrated in ways without needing any other gimmicky stuff off the side.
Well, I think some of that is because most of the fans just noticed the team like a couple weeks ago. So, like, they haven't had like a full season to really dig into something. A lot of the people just noticed they were good like a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know whether that's entirely the case.
It's been a second half ride.
Let me give you a couple others maybe. Josh Naylor, after he hits a home run, we've talked about the big grumper element, right? We've talked about the first time he homered for the Mariners and his disdain for the trident, which he now seems to have embraced. When they show pictures of Josh Naylor smiling, I cannot stop laughing. He looks like he's being held at gunpoint and being forced to smile. It is hilarious. Like, he doesn't really know how to
You had
do
friends
it.
like him though, growing up, right?
No,
College? You
no,
never
I
had a
don't think
friend
so.
like that? Really?
I don't think I know anyone like Josh Naylor. Do you?
Oh, I've had teammates like that. Yeah, you wonder if they even have teeth. Like, do they ever
The
smile?
smile he gives is just like, he just like he can't believe he has to smile. That it like is physically painful for him.
Yes.
Oh my God, it just cracks me up every single time. So I love that. And then let's just give a little shout out to a guy that deserves it, and that's Edward Bizzardo. I know we did it after Game 5. Let's do it again after last night. He was the best pitcher in the game last night.
Yeah, that they call it a sinker. I mean, it's not a sinker.
It's a two-seamer.
It's a two-seamer.
And those are the same thing. Those words are interchangeable, but I understand your point. In his case, it's not just that it sinks, it's the arm side movement he gets.
Yes.
Just crazy.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know how as a lefty at 96 or 97 and it's coming right at your hip and then it just has that horizontal like how do you hit that? What do you do with that pitch?
Yeah.
I mean, do you have to just step way off the plate? Like, how do you hit that pitch hard?
I don't know. And maybe at some point, he'll get figured out and guys will come up with a plan against him once he kind of, gets noticed and people spend more time on it. But what he's doing right now, he's untouchable. And other than the one rough inning he had in Detroit, he hasn't given up a run in the other, 6 2/3 that he's pitched here in the postseason, including 2 really important innings last night. So huge kudos to the guy we used to call the white flag. He has just been remarkable. And somebody texted in yesterday saying he needs a lights out entrance. You turn off the lights and you bring him in at T-Mobile. I can't disagree. I think it is, you don't want to start something like that in the postseason. Because what if it goes awry and then you've blown the whole thing? It's why I think Humpy should win out, man. I think Humpy might win every race the rest of the year. I think it's a magical run. And if Humpy just keeps on winning, Brock, I don't know why the Mariners couldn't follow along. Let's do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
206. They should retire Humpy's jersey, but hang it like one of those talking fish mount toys.
Was it the?
It's pretty good.
Was it the glasses and the big nose the guy wore for the Humpty dance?
Yeah.
Was that in college for us? When was that?
High school, maybe even middle school.
It was that long ago?
Yeah.
We do the Humpty.
Yeah. Shock G. Digital Underground.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah. All right, question number 1 for you, Brock. Sorry, I'm focused on Shock G here for a moment. Let's start here. What did you like from Mike Macdonald yesterday?
Play that cut you played Need to Know.
All right.
Because there's some meat on this bone right here, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, hold on. I got to get out of the Rush section. Everything I have here is Rush related in the whole thing. Sorry, I wasn't prepared to start playing you sound. This was Mike Macdonald's.
I think our team, we have earned the right to expect to win the games that we play if we play our best football. But other teams this league it's a great league, man. There's a lot of great teams, a lot of great players. You got to bring your A game all the time, every day. If we do that, I believe in our guys. But I think that's our mentality.
Isn't that great? And he had a great line at the end of the segment. And I saw it on YouTube also, getting some love of the Mariners and how much they appreciate the relentlessness of the Mariners and the resilience of the Mariners. And isn't it great that the 2 teams here, the professional teams, it's Share Royal Brougham, that they both have that. They both earn the right to expect to win. You can talk all you want about this, but you got to really walk it and believe it. And it takes a lot of time. And I think the second half of last season, Salk, into this offseason, into some of the additions they made, very similar to the Mariners, maybe a longer journey for them over 22 and 23 and 24, as pitchers have grown, as the culture has matured, that there's not a man in that Mariners clubhouse, and there is not a man in the Seahawks locker room that doesn't go into games expecting to win and earning that right. And it's not false enthusiasm. I've been on those teams. My 97 team versus my 98 Husky teams were very different last century. When we were healthy with Olin and Rashawn and Cam, we expected to win, pound people. 98, we tried to carry that over, and it was a lot of freshmen, and it was like, no, this is false chatter. Yeah, this is we haven't earned that right that the other guys did over years and years. And I think both these clubs very much feel that way, and it is a powerful, powerful tool in your tool bag each and every weekend.
All right, question number 2. Since the beginning, Brock, Chris Long has really been the guy who has just said the Seahawks are good. His brother, Kyle Long, as well, had some thoughts on what the Seahawks are doing. He said this on CBS.
Couple stats I want to read to you about the defense, though, because this is huge. They rush 4, they win with 4. Okay, not a lot of blitzes. Lowest in the National Football League in blitz percentage, and they're 9th in the NFL in quarterback pressures, which tells me those 4 suckers they got rushing the passer, they get home. Byron Murphy is a nightmare for an offensive lineman. That unit is a nightmare. And I remember playing against the Seahawks of yesteryear, the Legion of Boom, and it was a similar thing. They would rush 4, and the guys on the back end would just strap you up for 4 seconds. Quarterback's going to have to take a sack or throw it away. It's a great recipe for success. I give a lot of credit to the Seattle Seahawks.
All right, Brock, does Kyle understand the Seahawks as well as Chris does?
Yeah, I think so. And in 2013, went back and looked at that Super Bowl year, the LOB year, Salk. And you know what's amazing? I can go look at that schedule in 2013, and I remember every one of those games. Every one of those games. Starting the year in Carolina with a 12-7 ugly win. Being at 5-1 at this juncture, the Seahawks are 4-2 in 2025. They were 5-1 in 2013. The only loss was Andrew Luck going crazy in the old RCA Dome, making plays and throwing the ball down the field and kind of gouging them. But that 2013 team through 6 games, how many sacks did Bennett, Averill, that whole crew have through 6 games? 5-1, they had 15. These 4-2 Seahawks through 6 games have 20.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're not doing it with just 4 guys. I understand what he's saying. He's right. I mean, I'm not picking it apart at all. But they're doing it with 7 or 8 guys. And that was one of the big keys in 13. That's one of the big keys in 25. Those guys go down. You're going to lose some people. All of a sudden, Derek Hall's out a couple weeks. Uchenna, you better step up. You're going to get more bites at the apple. Oh, I am? Great. Here's 2.5 sacks. Yep, DeMarcus Lawrence, we brought you here for a reason. And when, you're healthy and you get home, this defense can be totally dominant as they were over the weekend.
All right, question number 3. Things are cyclical, as we know, in the NFL, but how is the pendulum swinging these days?
I'm curious about in our lifetime, Michael. In the 80s and the 90s, and we've talked about this with Brian Baldinger, it was cool to be an offensive lineman. The Hogs of Washington, the Cowboys, Larry Allen, those Nate Newton, those monsters that helped them win 3 Super Bowls. In 2025, you know what Larry Allen would be? Dexter Lawrence. He'd be like the most dominant defensive tackle, right? Like, had he grown up a generation later, and I'm really curious in our lifetime if we will ever see the pendulum swing back, that the most dominant line of scrimmage guys say, you know what? It's actually pretty cool to be a tackle. It's pretty cool to be the best guard to ever play. Pretty cool. Corey Stringer, Orlando Pace, like these guys, would they have been offensive linemen in this generation? Or would they be like, you know what, I'm going to make more money, more popularity, more name, more brand, $40 million plus a year if I can play defensive line? I'm really curious to see if that pendulum ever swings, because you can't help but watch. And my UFL experience has taught me this, has reinforced this, that the supply chain for offensive lines, I mean, golly. Not only are they diminished athletically compared to the guys they're trying to block, that pendulum has swung so far. I really do wonder if it will ever be super cool to be an offensive lineman again, and that pendulum swings back to that side in our lifetime.
All right, there you go. That is today's Blue 88. We do that every morning at 7:45. A little guaranteed football talk every day. I am fascinated. Probably the most curious I've been to see what happens with Humpy tomorrow. Like, I'm going to go to the game, and I would say like 50% of the reason why is to see what happens with Humpy.
Oh, great.
Do you think he wins more, or do you think he's done? You think that was like, so there's 3 choices. I'll even do a Twitter poll on this. 3 choices. Does Humpy keep winning? Does Humpy go back to losing? Or does Humpy retire?
I just thought Humpy, that was Humpy's moment, and now it goes back to losing.
Wow. That would be shocking for me. Lyle, what do you think? Where are you on Humpy?
I guess
Lyle puts Humpy in with the Vetter Cup as meaningless things that happened during a Mariners season.
I'll say that he goes back to losing. I think it was a one-time thing.
He was 0-83. He was 0-83, Salk.
And you think he goes back to losing as well?
Yeah, you don't pull then.
Man, you guys have a loser mentality. I'm shocked to hear this.
Maybe it's inning 15, Salk, of Game 5.
I don't think Humpy
and you're
can
trying
lose
to get to the World Series, and you know what? We're gonna run it out a second time.
I don't think
Maybe
Humpy can lose
18.
again. I totally disagree. I don't think Humpy can lose again. I think you might have to retire him. Now, if he comes out of retirement for that moment, like Apollo Creed, hopefully he fares better. Like, I would say...
Yeah, what if he just goes belly up during the race?
Belly up? Well, let's hope not. What could happen to the Mariners then?
Also,
that might traumatize the children, Brock.
Yeah, Brock. I gotta have dead fish out there.
I gotta say, Brock, your take about this season having no gimmicks, it's not landing with the people.
No.
There's a lot of people saying you're wrong.
Divish, in fact, texted us to give like eight gimmicks. Like, dude,
There
but
have
I think
been-
that's
see,
kind of the point.
But that is the point.
That's the
They
point
fade.
Brock's making. None of them have really
Yes.
stuck. I think you're
They
right.
can absolutely play a role in it over the course of a season. There's different messaging. It's
I
great.
agree with you.
They've all had their moment, but it's not the identifiable trait of this team.
Right.
This team is the identifiable
Well,
trait.
sure, unless you're in the national media, in which case there is no identifiable trait because you have no idea who they are, that they've been playing baseball all year long. We'll come right back with Joe Davis, Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
2 down, 2 to go.
And the Mariners extend the lead back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October!
The Mariners go for a commanding 3-0 series lead. Tomorrow, it's Game 3 of the ALCS at T-Mobile. First pitch at 5:08.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
Progressive's Teen Driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them. Endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Northwest Homeowners, when it comes to your roof, you need a name you can trust. Techline Roofing has proudly served the Seattle area for years, delivering exceptional results and lasting security. Choose Techline Roofing. Your trust is our foundation. Trust Techline.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at MBAHealthTrust.com. That's MBAHealthTrust.com.
Hey Mariner fans, Rick Riz here. Steel deals are happening now, from instant savings on select power tools to free battery offers on some of Steel's most popular battery sets. You can enjoy great deals and do it all with Steel. Save now on zero-turn mowers, blowers, chainsaws, battery packs, and more. Steel is the preferred handheld outdoor power equipment provider of the Seattle Mariners. For more details, visit your local Steel dealer or click SteelUSA.com. Steel, trusted by the pros.
It's the World Fighting Championships at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Saturday night, October 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing professional mixed martial arts event, the World Fighting Championships, October 25th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
Give me a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Marcus. Sorry about Mike Heward. Not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
The intrigue is palpable, Brock. Palpable in early voting. I can't believe this. 46%. Oh, it's starting to break away a little bit. 46% think Humpy is going to go on a tear and just keep winning. About 32, almost 33% thinks it was a one-time only deal for Humpy, and over 1 in 5, 21% believe he just retires and goes out on top. So, as if you don't have enough exciting reasons to watch the Mariner game tomorrow, here's another one for you. I mean, what happens with Humpy?
Can you do me a favor and A, not ask Jeff Passan about it, B, not ask Joe Davis, nor C, ask A-Rod when he joins us at 9:30
No, I
tomorrow?
won't.
Can you please not do that? Because I think all of them would be like, what?
You don't think they'll care about Humpy?
No.
Well, that's on them.
But I think that's Barry Darrison.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
So let's just kind of keep that out.
I mean, that's fine. I personally think it's pretty relevant, and I'm very curious for everyone out there who's all into the jinxes and the stitious and all of it. Like, I would say Humpy's a pretty big thing. And honestly, to be there the other night and see how it did change the environment and the mood and the fact that they went and won right afterwards, I don't know, man. I don't know. The intrigue is palpable. Over 50% now saying he wins again.
The little fish that could. Little fish that
he's kind of the little fish that could. Yes. Oh, he's so cute, too, with his little life preserver.
And you
stuff.
do think that is kind of the national narrative of the 4 remaining teams? Are the Mariners the little fish that could? Are the Mariners...
That's hilarious. You think there's a national narrative? I don't think there is one. Like, seriously. Other than just shock and surprise. I get it after game 1 that the narrative was the Mariners stole game 1 because they kind of did. They were exhausted. They were coming off that great game against Detroit, and then they found a way to win. That's sort of stealing a game. But they didn't steal last night's game. They just went out and beat the crap out of Toronto. You know why? They're better. They're just better. They're just the best team in the American League.
And their best players have been their best. Cal has been his best, right? A-Rod has been his best. This is not the best that Vladdy can play. you've neutralized their best player. That dude in the Yankees series, Salk, was unconscious. Absolutely unconscious, and everything over the plate he totally mashed. He's had 3 opportunities, runners in scoring position. He's been, multiple times had a chance to kind of step up, and they neutralized him. Got a ground ball here, got a ground ball there, got a ground ball here, and right, you have neutralized their best players. I felt pretty good, by the way, yesterday as we were talking through that matchup. A young kid, a first rounder, making his 4th start of his big league career.
Yeah,
come on, man, not against this lineup. Maybe against the lineup of a couple years ago that had some holes in it, and
it's funny because he just dominated the Yankees. When they played a couple of last week.
He had like a 10-run lead. He had about the softest landing spot you could ever have.
That's true, but he did go out and actually pitch against them.
Your team loses, and all of a sudden it is. I've got to go through what? I got to go through Rosarena. I got to go through Julio. I got to go through Cal. I got to go through Polanco. I got to go through Naylor. This is a different kind of animal, man.
Like a fish animal?
No, not like a humpy at all.
Not like a little humpy like a fish animal.
58-pound king
not
salmon
kind of
running
animal.
away from you.
Kind of a different kind of animal. Yeah. And now how good is Shane Bieber these days? He used to be awesome. Is Shane Bieber still any good?
In 7 starts, he's got a 3.57 ERA, but that doesn't really tell the whole story because he's coming off Tommy John.
Right.
He's getting barreled up pretty hard this year.
Yeah.
He's FIP's much higher than his ERA, so yeah.
He's right? He's okay.
And I think one of the other advantages has to be an advantage, right? Is you have seen now the entirety of their bullpen. That's another positive trade-off of these 2 games.
What bullpen? What bullpen are you even talking about?
Getting to be
Joe
cocky,
Davis
Salk,
joining us right now, Brock, Fox Sports. He's calling this series. He'll call the World Series, former Brock Heward partner, kind enough to take a few minutes. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How you doing?
Well, I would say people here are pretty darn good. Just watching a Mariner team that is that. They're just good.
Yeah, they're good, and they're close, man. They're so close to getting to where they've never been before, and that is anytime you get that in sports, it's a special thing. I can't wait to get to Seattle for Game 3.
How much in Seattle have you and Smoltzy ever done? I know John's been here.
Just the All-Star game.
That's it?
Together.
Just the All-Star game.
Just the All-Star game, yep.
So as you dig into, Joe, and you start preparing for these Mariners, we spent kind of the first hour of the show talking about, for many in the national way, this is the first time really seeing what these Mariners are all about. As you now have kind of dug in and studied, and you've watched, you're different than a lot of them. You've watched these guys over the last 2-3 years. What does Joe Davis's eyes see now with this collection?
Just more potential to score runs, I think. That was just lacking. The pitching had been scary for years, and I think coming into the year, the lineup looked better. Nobody knew that Cal was going to have the kind of season that he's had, not to this level. And then you add Suarez, who I know has not been very good, Naylor, who's been really good. Just the way that those added pieces connect it all and lengthen it. And now you got J.P. Crawford, who I know is not a superstar, but you have him hitting 9th. I think that's a great snapshot of how deep the lineup is. And, they have the ability to do what they did last night, and that is put up 10 runs on you while they have this great pitching.
Yeah, I think it's been one of the interesting things here is kind of watching the surprise about the Mariners having this much success when, on paper, really since the trade deadline, they have the best team on paper in the American League. They've got the deepest pitching. Yeah. They've got a bullpen. They've got the deepest lineup. It's hard to change a narrative that's existed for the last, whether you want to call it 4 or 24 years, but this is not the same Mariners team that we've seen the last few years.
No, I guess the only way to change it is to be like this in the biggest games as they were down the stretch. And, even in the division series, they won it, but I don't know how good the Tigers were. They got the best pitcher in baseball. Beyond that, I don't know how good of a team they were at this stage of the year. And the Mariners didn't look great against them, right? So really, the last month happens, and in Seattle you start to feel good about what you have there. But nationally, I think it's probably not until these last 2 games where eyes have really been opened.
Joe, how different can you describe the scene of the last 2 days you and Johnny experienced in Toronto versus the 2 days you experienced against the Yankees?
It was a party, those 2 days against the Yankees. And it was silent so quickly with the early offense that the Mariners had in these two games. I mean, you could hear a pin drop at points in the last 2 days. And coming into this series, I said one of the fun matchups is the environments, the crowd at Rogers Center and the crowd in Seattle. And, to credit to the Mariners, it looks like that's going to be a mismatch with the way they took them out of the crowd, or took the crowd out of the game early on in these two games here. Because to your point, Brock, this place was, I told a few people it was as good of an environment as Philadelphia, which I've always said is the best postseason environment I've been in.
Well, it'll be interesting. What do you expect to see tomorrow night when you arrive at this postseason environment?
Well, watching Game 5, I was jealous of Adam that he was there and I couldn't be there in it. I'm thinking it's going to be just like that, with just a little different tone. I think that was like a desperation. Please God, we can't lose. This team can't end like this, and this is going to be blood in the water. My gosh, we're 2 wins away from going where we've never gone before. And I just love what that does to environments, what that does to fan bases. And I think that is at a really raw level what sports and fandom is all about.
Yeah. Last couple minutes here with Joe as he's getting ready to hop on a plane and come all the way across a long trip. Might have been a little easier, Detroit, Toronto, just travel-wise. Might have been a little easier than Toronto,
no
Seattle.
doubt.
What have you and John and crew learned around the batting cage? That, to me, it's kind of like the production meetings, Joe, that we always had in football together. That sometimes is where some of the secret sauce, the feel, some of the background, some of the things that the numbers don't always tell you. What have you taken away from being around Dan and this club on the field?
Well, Dan doesn't give you a whole lot. He's I'm sure you guys have gotten to know him through the years, but as kind and wonderful of a guy as you can meet. But he's not going to divulge a whole lot. I think what we've been able to glean is that this team has something when it comes to chemistry and enjoys being around each other. Now, I don't know if that's unique to them. I think that you get to this stage of the year, every team's going to talk about that, liking each other. You typically don't get here to this stage if you're not cohesive. But it does seem like they have something special. I guess to give you something more specific, it just would be beyond the 60 home runs from Cal Raleigh, beyond the Gold Glove defense. It's the touch and the relationships that he has with the pitchers, the timing of his visits we saw in the first game of this series, and just the way that he's appreciated behind the scenes. I think it's something that we couldn't have known before we had gotten closer to the team these last few days.
Well, Joe, we appreciate it. No, you're busy and on the way now to the airport and ready to come here. And it should be, it's funny. You use that word party atmosphere in Toronto, having been in a lot of postseason spots before myself. I've never felt the kind of party that I felt in Game 5 for Seattle. Generally, as you know, the postseason is so riddled with anxiety, and the Mariners do a really good job in the way they handled ballpark operations, that they focus more on the fun. And look, it's not to say people weren't anxious. They were, trust me. And I noticed the Fox cameras managed to find every single one of them, everybody twisting their hands into a pretzel. But
oh, yeah, we love that.
Oh, as you should. That's postseason baseball. But it was interesting. There was a little bit more of a fun party vibe in the crowd on what is it, Friday night. And I wonder if you'll feel more of that tomorrow and into Thursday.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's something, because that was a do-or-die game. That's surprising to me that it was a festive feel to it. I would think up 2-0, that's when that's really going to go to another level.
Well, when Humpy wins the salmon race, it really changes everything. So
right.
You be on the lookout and enjoy the flight, and we'll see you here starting tomorrow.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
there you
Joe.
go, Joe. Was that okay, Brock? Was that an okay mention of Humpy, or was that too much?
Barely.
I didn't ask him any Humpy-related questions.
Barely.
I'm just kind of setting him up for what he's going to see here.
Don't
with
go
Humpy.
any further than that.
All right, I won't. Jeff
right
Passan coming up in just over 15 minutes. DJ a little bit later today. We'll come back with everything you need to know next.
2 down, 2 to go.
And the Mariners extend the lead back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October!
The Mariners go for a commanding 3-0 series lead tomorrow It's Game 3 of the ALCS at T-Mobile. First pitch at 5:08.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Oh, I love the fall. Just growing up, the son of a high school football coach, fall always meant football. Fall now means playoff baseball, and it is incredible. It also means it's a great time to reset your workouts on new stuff. And Top Fitness, they got some great deals going on right now. I've told you all for years that working out in your own home gym, especially as the rain and the fall weather comes and the darkness, it's the best. And from flooring to everything that goes in that home gym, treadmills, elliptical strength training systems, Top Fitness, they got it all. They represent the very best brands available, like Washington's own Precor, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with many others. You give Top Fitness your room dimensions, no matter where it is in your house, and they'll do a complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest financing, and mention you heard it from me, and they'll take an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. No secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. They got locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Open enrollment for Medicare is coming up. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the consumer man here. Get organized early with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple 1-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things will change after October 20th, and some things won't. If you ride without a Good-to-Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. Having Good-to-Go means it'll cost less than pay by mail. Not a change. Carpoolers will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. A Good-to-Go pass saves you $2 on every toll. No change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Looking to energize your team and build stronger connections? Bellevue Adventures invites corporate groups to our Thursday night climbs, starting at 6 and 7 p.m. Under a canopy of glowing string lights, your team will navigate challenges, build trust, and share laughs in a refreshing outdoor setting. It's team building reimagined. Step out of your comfort zone for something new and fresh. Reserve your group's climb at bellevue-adventures.com and elevate your Thursdays.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
I'll be real quick here and need to know as we'll get ready for Jeff Passan in just 10 minutes. But the Mariners did what they had to do yesterday. They just kept hitting the ball.
The stretch and the pitch. Julio swinging a drive deep down the left field line. Stay fair. It is a fair ball. Goodbye, baseball. Just fair down the left field line. Julio Rodriguez with a home run, scoring Randy and Cal out in front of him. And just like that, the Mariners have a 3-0 lead here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, they ended up tying it up 3-3. Logan was not at his very best, but then the Mariners just went nuts. Scored 7 more runs from there. Polanco, Naylor, Garver, everybody getting themselves involved, and they go on to a nice, easy 10-3 win, which allowed them to rest their pen. They get the day off today, and then tomorrow night, going to be crazy at T-Mobile Park. George Kirby and Shane Bieber, then Luis Castillo Wednesday, probably against Kevin Gossman. And we'll wait and see on Brian Wu. No word yet on where or when he'll be able to return. Sounds like Game 5 could be a possibility. He did throw a bullpen yesterday, by all accounts, maybe felt a little bit better.
Yeah, I thought it went really well today. Again, looking at different things in terms of his velo, in terms of how he was throwing his secondary stuff. It looked all really pretty solid today. And then, again, the next sort of check mark is how he responds to that tomorrow and how he comes back. But, I think, again, as we've seen, his progression's been pretty steady, pretty on the mark. And I think if he comes back tomorrow and feeling better, then I think we're on a good path to seeing him later in the series.
You know, I love what Joe Davis said about Dan. He's very kind, and he's a very sweet man. But you're going to get nothing from him.
Nothing. Not his job.
No soup for you.
No soup for anybody.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Yeah, Mike Macdonald yesterday, very high on his team, and maybe the thing that changed the most from last week to this one is just the tackling. He was very happy with how much better it was.
It was vastly improved. It's a combination of things. I think the number one leading thing is our guys just decided that we were going to tackle. It's, because how we're training it, we're going to keep chasing that every week. And I think the other big thing that happened was our effort was very, very good. It was up to our standard yesterday. So, if you do miss, which we did, you're going to miss. You're not going to hit 100% of your tackles. If you are, that means you're not playing aggressively enough. So when you do miss, you need guys to clean it up for you and limit those extra yards. And that's the way the guys played.
Salk and I may or may not have heard from a certain reporter that wanted to make sure that the wording and the verbiage that I used in that question was indeed correct, because it was the way Kobe Bryant took it. The coach called him out, and not in any kind of negative way. I guess being called out does sound derogatory, but not from Kobe Bryant's point of view. It was like, no, call me out, rightfully so. I got to do my job. I got to tackle better. The whole group's got to tackle better. And, man, did they ever in Jacksonville from really every level of that defense on Sunday.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Just to wrap this up quickly, Dodgers win, Falcons win,
I think
Bears
I watched
win.
that. I think I watched that, was it a double play? What was that? That was
crazy double play.
I think I watched that 8 times and still couldn't understand what the heck happened.
So he hit the ball.
Were the bases loaded?
Bases loaded, 1 out.
Okay, bases
the
loaded, 1 out.
The ball's hit to the center field wall. It bounces off his glove, then off the wall. Then he catches it. The wall, in that case, acts like the ground. So it's as if he dropped it, even though it never hit the ground. He
Okay.
then throws home. They don't need to tag him. He would have been safe if it was a tag play, but it's
So
a
the runner
force.
went back to third,
Yeah, thinking
he
he's
had
got a
to take
tag.
up.
So he
Okay.
throws, foot's on the bag on home plate, so he's out because it's a force play. Then they ran over to third and touched the bag. That's it.
Jeepers.
Isn't that crazy?
Never seen anything like it.
No. I mean, I've also never seen anything like the Geno Suarez sitting on the edge of the dugout yesterday. That was weird, wasn't it? And Geno's just sitting there like, I don't care. Whatever. Just didn't care at all.
No.
All right, that's everything you need to know. 15:15 every hour here in the Brock and Salk Show. We'll go right to Jeff Passan next. God, I'm excited to talk to Jeffrey. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
2 down, 2 to go.
And the Mariners extend the lead back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October!
The Mariners go for a commanding 3-0 series lead. Tomorrow, it's Game 3 of the ALCS at T-Mobile. First pitch at 5:08.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Man, it's such a good week to be at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, the new sports bar, the perfect spot to watch everything going on in Seattle sports this week, and those 66 TVs, the indoor-outdoor deal, the beautiful views, and oh yeah, the food and every other part of fun you can have while watching a big sporting event at Snoqualmie Casino. That's right. Seattle's closest. You can go to snocasino.com. It's now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Hey 12's Steve Rabel here for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. For men 40 and older, a simple PSA blood test can help intercept prostate cancer early. You can get the simple test before the Crucial Catch game October 20th at Ticketmaster Tailgate.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Where you hear the AL West champion Mariners in the ALCS, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Yeah, it's a good question. Was it the dumbest challenge ever? I don't think so on what happened with Gino sitting on the edge of the dugout there. I thought it was actually a pretty worthwhile challenge. I wasn't sure which way they were going to rule that. Did you? I mean, just kind of watching it. So, I mean, it's a hit and an error, and he throws the ball away, and it bounces off Gino Suarez, who's, from my view, sitting in play. Right? I mean, he's sitting
and eating seeds like he would in his home in Venezuela in February.
It was hilarious.
I mean, chilling like a villain.
Yes. He's just kind of calmly sitting there, and rather than like jump out of the way, he just like kind of moves. The ball bounces off his back and then into the camera well. Obviously, if he hadn't been sitting there, it would have gone into the dugout, and it would have been out of play either way. And they got the call right. That's the way it should end. But I was curious if they would say, hey, you're in the field of play, man. You can't touch the ball if you're sitting there. I mean, that would have been, if they had made that call, totally legitimate. By the way, that's what ended up leading to the Cal intentional walk and then the Polanco 3-run home run. So it actually kind of factored into the game fairly significantly.
Did you hear John Schneider's explanation?
Yeah, he was just kind of like, I don't know, I just thought I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, and he also said...
Oh, he threw the guys under the bus.
Yes, it wasn't communicated real well to me. Like,
shut up. Dude, he is a doofus. I don't like him, man. He's constantly making excuses, constantly blaming other people, saying dumb stuff, sticking his foot in his mouth. He should do my job. I do that stuff all the time. He'd be much better as a radio host than he would as the manager of the Blue Jays. I've never been particularly impressed with him. So, like that, he just throws everybody under the bus.
Yeah.
Contrast that to the moment where the Mariners made their challenge a couple weeks ago with the foot on the grass deal at second base. Mm-hmm. Like what a completely different organizational culture that is.
Yeah. Yeah. And right now you've absolutely owned them and gotten the most of it. I know we're waiting on Passan here for just a second. Can I just also say, paying on one thing off from Joe Davis, who it just kind of reinforced what we heard from Adam Wainwright, what we heard from Adam Amin, what we heard from AJ Przinsky, and what you hear from everybody that comes in and experiences this ball club. They've now all said the same thing. Cal Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even the 60 home run Cal Raleigh. It is the C of that kind of captainship that you can appreciate it from afar, Salk, but you get close to it and it was your mind.
All right, well, let's get to Jeff Passan here, who joins us, I believe, on video. Oh, there he is, for everybody watching on YouTube this morning. Thank you for being with us. There's Jeff Passan from Hotel Room. Where are you today?
Hotel room, yes. Heading from Toronto right now to Los Angeles actually. I feel like I've done enough at this point to acknowledge that I am not the plague, and I'm just cutting while I'm ahead. Like,
Probably good.
yeah, like
It's probably good.
I was talking with Cal about that yesterday. I was like, everyone in Seattle thinks that like I'm a pox on your team. And the one, like, remember during the winning streak, the one game that I went to is the game that they lost.
Yeah, Kansas City. We all know. Everybody knows. Every Mariner fan knows.
Believe me, Jeff, we know. We know the kind of problems you cause. Hey, we got a lot to talk about today, obviously, with where the Mariners are at. But you got to first go back to Friday night. How special was that game, was that win on Friday night over Detroit?
Just so awesome. It's like I feel like every city has those defining games for the franchises they root for, and it reminded me a lot actually of like the wild card walk off for Kansas City against Oakland, which still, like, to this day, 10 years later, I look back on that game, and people in Kansas City do, and just the fondness with which you remember it. This is going to be right up there with Edgar's walk-off double. It's we're gonna see Jorge Polanco taking that swing and sending the Mariners past Detroit and into the ALCS, and it's even better knowing what came next, right? Now, I don't want to get too far ahead here, but what the Mariners did in the immediate aftermath of that is go on the road against the number one seed in the American League and absolutely destroy them for 2 days. And the first day, it was like more of a mental destruction. The second game was just talent-wise. They made them look like a JV team. The Mariners looked like the big bad boys that we've always known that they can.
So if we had Jeff Passan thought bubbles popping out of your head on Friday night over those 5+ hours, what would some of those bubbles have read?
I believe some of those bubbles turned into text, did they not?
Yeah, I got at least one of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeff was proven right. Jeff did not want to take Kirby out of the game in that moment, and Kerry Carpenter rewarded Jeff with a 2-run home run off of Gabe Spire. Yeah, I didn't mind the move. I probably, in retrospect, the move was probably just to intentionally walk him and move on at that point because he's really the only guy that could beat you. But after that, God, I really felt like Dan managed such a good game, and all the other decisions he made versus AJ. I think AJ Hinch screwed that game up in the 15th with the way he managed it. Not to say that they wouldn't have lost either way, but you got to get 2 outs with 1 base open, and you've your choice of Julio, Polanco, and Gino. You got to pitch to Julio and Gino, and you can't pitch to Polanco there.
I mean, can you pitch to Julio right now either, though?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everyone who's watched every game this season would tell you, as much as Julio is awesome, that you'd rather, if you're the other team, take your chances and try to get him to swing and miss. And then if he walks, so be it. Then you're in the same position anyway. But you got to at least try to get him to swing and miss because he's got more swing and miss in his game.
I think that's very reasonable, and Jorge Polanco doesn't. Like, it's remarkable what he's done this postseason. And it's the sort of thing on which World Series runs are built. It's great to have Cal Raleigh performing like he has. And after all these years that you can rely on the starting pitching that the Mariners have. But you need those other contributors. You need someone to have like an Eddie Rosario series. And right now that's Jorge Polanco, Eddie Rosario's teammate. For a while with the Minnesota Twins, actually. A guy who, when he came here last year to Seattle, there were real expectations that he was going to be the bat that they needed, and he was not. He was also not healthy. And so for the Mariners to go out, bring him back this winter, have him be, they started calling him George Bonds in April because that's what he was hitting like. And to have that version of Polo show back up in October, and I don't know that he's leading this team. That's Cal Raleigh now and forever, but he's that second banana. He's that guy who I mean, you don't see many second basemen hitting cleanup. You don't see many second basemen coming through in the clutch the way that he has. And just knowing that there's someone who has that slow heartbeat and in big moments is not going to cower or turtle, but step up and say, I want to own this. What a luxury for the Mariners to have.
Jeffrey, you've been around these World Series journeys for lots of different teams over your years of covering baseball. Mike and I would sit with Coach Carroll, and he would use a word a little bit more frequently than I think other coaches do or managers do, and that word was feel. You can just feel it. I'm not feeling the guys. I'm not feeling. He would use that word quite frequently. As you've been around these World Series teams, what do they feel like, and can you compare and contrast the Mariners to those teams?
I think you feel only as good as your previous day's result, Brock. And as great as the Mariners feel right now, they understand that momentum in a series can turn on one George Kirby pitch in 24 hours. And I think the Mariners, the one thing that they have to do right now is protect against looking ahead. The Toronto Blue Jays, despite what they showed over the first 2 games of the series, are a very capable team. They beat the New York Yankees, who are also a very capable team. They had the best record in the American League because they are a very capable team. And yes, this is not the best version of them that we're seeing right now. Bo Bichette's not there. Anthony Santander missed yesterday's game. Like, they've had some injuries. And more than that, though, I think the Mariners have exposed weaknesses. This bullpen that had been good against the Yankees, the Mariners have just been absolutely crushing it. And, John Schneider was looking for anything yesterday, trying to bring guys in. And, Louis Varland comes in after Trey Savage's start and strikes out Julio, and then Polanco steps to the plate and he gives him it was not a good pitch by any means. It was low. It was sort of like on that line that would start the outer third of the plate. But it was 98 miles an hour. So it wasn't like an obvious middle horrendous pitch. And Polanco is just so locked in right now that those are the mistakes that you can't make. Those are the pitches you can't groove. And it goes back, I think, to Gabe Spire and Kerry Carpenter. This time of year, one mistake can end your season, can change your season, can turn around a series. And it's what makes October baseball so great, guys. Like, every single pitch, you're just waiting for the other team to do what you are desperately hoping the team you root for won't.
It's really funny getting a bunch of text messages from people seeing Jeff Passan for the first time. Guys, he's on TV like all the time on ESPN. These are like, oh, long-time listener. Always heard Jeff's voice, never seen his face. I mean, he's on ESPN a lot. That's why we get Jeff on the show. Anyway, all right, well, people think you're much younger than you sound.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
You have a very youthful look. Very youthful look.
And kind of an old voice.
I appreciate that. I think over time,
such a jerk.
Me?
No, it's okay.
I wasn't being a jerk. I'm just saying what the people said. They think your voice is old.
What is an old voice?
I think it's that you use words that most people don't understand, and so they just assume you're old and wise. You're like Gandalf or something.
Yeah,
that's gotta be it.
I think it's a whiskey and cigarettes.
Those two, yeah. Hey,
I was out at a bar in Toronto last night until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, but this is an important caveat. It's called the Imperial Pub. It is closing on November 15th. After 81 years in the same family. And so think about this, bar nights with your friends are always great because you always hope that you can go out and replicate it another night, right? You always hope you can go back to that same place and have another memorable night. This place, unless the Blue Jays win, I'm never going to go back to again. And so
what friends are you out with? When you're going out after an ALCS game, who are you heading out with?
It was Jake Mintz from Yahoo, Jorge Castillo, my colleague, Disha Tosar, who works for Fox, and Danny Wexelman, who works for MLB Network Radio.
All right. So as you guys are talking, and I'm sure you end up talking baseball throughout, does any part of you kind of talk through what this Mariner pitching staff has done here without Brian Wu and really with only 4 relievers in the pen? Is it sustainable to go with essentially an 8-man pitching staff for the entirety of the postseason?
Yes. We've seen it happen before. We've seen the Astros do it when they were really just pitching with starters. You remember Charlie Morton and Lance McCullers coming in relief roles. We've seen it with the Nationals a few years ago. Like their bullpen, they had like 3-4 relievers that they could rely on. It's nice to have a deep pitching staff the way that like the Brewers do, but I think if you look in the National League, the Dodgers are ahead 1-0 right now, and they may have even fewer pitchers that they trust than the Mariners do. And I think, don't you think it goes a little bit beyond that? Are we still on the don't trust Carlos Vargas train?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Until Cal looks like he trusts Carlos Vargas, I think the rest of us are all going to be on that. I don't know if I trust Carlos Vargas train. But I'll tell you who's moved from the, last year we called him the white flag. And this year, Edward Bizardo might be.
Yeah.
He might be the secret weapon that is, other than the one bad inning, he's gone 6 2/3, Jeff, hasn't allowed a run, a couple of hits, 1 walk. And it's crazy because he doesn't miss bats. And so I found myself thinking about what a good matchup he is against Toronto because they don't swing and miss that much. So the Castillos, the Bizardos, maybe even Kirby, I would think those guys should have a tremendous amount of success against a team like Toronto.
Bizardo's sinker is really good, man. And that's the thing. When you have all these Mariners pitchers have at least one outlier pitch. And it's just fun to see the strategizing that's going on right now. I think to me, the thing, maybe I'm not going to remember the most, but one of the things that I'm going to look back at the 15-inning game and always remember is the game that Cal Raleigh called. Cal Raleigh judges himself based on not the number of home runs he hits and not the home run derby titles or the all-star selections or the MVPs. He judges himself as a catcher and as a baseball player on how he calls games. Like that to him is the highest level of what he can do. And the game he called that day, it was so good that it had the announcers just consistently confused. Like, you can't throw this many sliders. and Cal was just like, hold my beer. Of course you can. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And it took the Mariners 4 games to get there. I don't think going into that game, they were planning on throwing that many sliders. It was a point of emphasis from the team in its preparation. But I think Cal Raleigh went and took it to an extreme even they weren't expecting. And it was incredibly effective just because it's not something you ever see.
Yeah.
Like, there's more spin in baseball now than there's ever been before. But to that extent, amazing job by him.
Well, and maybe even especially after, you see Munoz throw in 96 as opposed to 98, 99.
Yeah,
you might want to throw a few more of those sliders. The other part of that for Cal, you say calling the game, and obviously that goes to the pitches that he's calling. I don't pretend to understand enough about pitch sequencing to have any idea what they're doing and to know what's good and what's not. But what does always jump out to not just me, but I think a lot of people around Seattle is the touch Cal has in when to come out to the mound, what to say to the guys, whether it was Logan on Friday night, and I found myself thinking about these 2 best friends just standing on the mound together in the middle of all of that insanity and how cool that must be, to Bryce Miller in game 1, where his visit seemed to change everything. He just seems to have a really amazing touch. Is that common throughout the game?
I wouldn't say it's common. I would say it's part of what makes him special. Brock, you talked about feel earlier. That's feelings, right? Like how you're feeling about certain thing. Like, the term feel in baseball means a sense of the state of affairs. So when you walk into a room, if you have feel, like you know how to converse with people, you know how to take the temperature of the room. Cal Raleigh has unbelievable baseball feel, and he just knows the right time to do things. I think it's like a very coach of a son thing, but I think it also speaks to his curiosity and his willingness to go out and learn what the most effective way to do something is. He could very easily sit there and say, I'm a big league catcher. I've been so for a half decade. I'm decorated. And you know what? I'm going to stop evolving because me right now is pretty damn good. But the reason that he's as good as he is because he has actively chosen to evolve to this place where something like that, Mike, matters. Like, it does matter, and it's impossible to measure. And we can never sit there and say, hey, remember that time that Cal went to the mound and everything just blew up afterward because he said the wrong thing? I'm sure that has happened before. But in these moments that really matter right now, it seems like he's got this magic touch. And it's the sort of thing that goes a really, really long way, I think, to making a pitching staff comfortable. When you have comfortable pitching staff with their catcher, they're just going to have that trust. And when you have that trust, you can have more conviction in the pitches that you're throwing.
Give me 2 or 3 of the biggest keys, Jeffrey, for the Mariners to close this thing out and get 2 more wins and get to the first World Series ever.
I think they need to keep throwing strikes. I think their inveterate strike throwing has been the sort of thing that throws off a team like Toronto that has pretty good plate discipline and that has bat to ball. When you get ahead, you put them into a defensive position. And that's what I think Mariners pitchers have done throughout this series. And it's why it was so impressive what Bryce Miller did. Bryce Miller could have cowered after that first inning. Batted balls of 109, 105, and 103. I turned to Jorge Castillo, who I was sitting next to in the press box, and said, hey, like, this is not good. He's not going to last. And then he goes and throws 5 of the best innings I've seen this postseason. So throwing strikes, absolutely key number 1. And I think number 2, keep hitting home runs. Like, you go and look at the record of teams in the postseason, and the teams that hit more home runs than the other teams are playing like 850 ball. And I'm not saying that if you hit more home runs, you're going to win, but the two tend to be extremely strongly correlated, if not causative. And I know those are simple things, Brock, but when you're up 2-0, don't overcomplicate things.
I'm going to say this, like Passan came on earlier this year, not after a 3 a.m. night.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? How many of these do I do a year? 24. I got to have a 24th.
Yeah.
Right? I got to have an appearance that's not my best.
Today has not been that at all.
I mean, after a 3 a.m. night, this may be.
Well, and we've got some
numero
questions
uno.
about that. 206 saying, all right, seeing Jeff and I'm tripping out. This cannot be the person I've been listening to for years. I don't know if I can trust this youngster's insights anymore. Others noting that you did call Cal the coach of a son, as opposed to the son of a coach, which is funny. One person wondered if it's Apollo. And then the text that I think actually I wanted to ask you about is the one that says, were they all out until 3 because Jeff had to explain to everyone else who the Mariners are? And I will say that, you know, watching some of the broadcasts, specifically some of the pregame shows, it does make me wonder if some of the national media, not talking about you, have ever seen this team play. I mean, it really does feel as if there are people, mostly former players, that are looking at this and going, I've never seen any of these people before, and they have no idea who the Mariners are.
Their loss.
Right? I mean,
That's all I'll say.
But doesn't it?
I very much appreciated this specific series, by the way, because I think there are only 3 weekly radio hits that I do. And one of them is with you guys, and another is with Jeff Blair and Kevin Barker in Toronto.
Oh, funny.
And so
when is that one? What are they saying?
They're I mean, they're desolate right now.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because there was so much anticipation and expectation coming into this series, and as bad as you guys in Seattle have had it for the better part of a half century, the Blue Jays haven't won in 30-something years either. Haven't made it back to the World Series, and not trying to minimize by any means the suffering of Seattle sports fans. I've been down that road. Didn't go great. But Toronto's had it pretty bad too, and they've had that whole feel of this is a team of destiny thing going on as well. So to get punched in the mouth like this, it has not been an enjoyable experience for them.
Jeff, I could sit here and talk to you for like another half hour, but unfortunately, you got to go. We got to go. Hopefully, we do get a chance to see you. I assume if the Mariners close out the Blue Jays, we'll get an opportunity to see you here for the World Series.
I will make sure to not just come in, but to be in studio. And as long as you guys have another like bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich for me, I'm there.
We could do that, and our boss will have to come down and meet you. She's kind of obsessed with you, so we'll see if we can set you up with Kathy so she can talk to you for a little while. In all seriousness, how cool is this? What a fun experience we're all getting to have right now.
Isn't it?
It really is
the best. This is why you're a fan. Like, never forget that. You are a fan for moments like this.
I really want you to make it here for the World Series, not just because I want the Mariners to be there and because it would be nice to see you, but I would love, with all of the postseason games you've been to, considerably more than I have, my feeling in Game 5 was it felt less anxious and more party-like than any big game like that I've ever been to. That's not to say there wasn't anxiety. There was, and the cameras find every bit of it, and a lot of people were pacing, and you can't have postseason baseball without it. But there was more happiness, joy, and party to go with that anxiety than I've ever experienced at any of the postseason games I've been to. So I really want you to come here. I really want you to see all of this, and hopefully we'll get a chance to do that in another week. Jeff, thank you as always. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Look forward to it, boys. Enjoy the week.
There you go. There's Jeff Passan, the great Jeff Passan on ESPN. You can see him there. You don't have to just wait till he's on here. You
They
can
play
see
any
Jeff
Lionel
there.
Richie? You mentioned
I didn't
Beastie
hear.
Boys.
No,
Fiesta,
I didn't hear any of
Forever.
that. No dancing on the ceiling either, Brock.
Party.
Even though the roof was closed, maybe they could have. All right, we'll go from Jeff to Shannon to DJ. Just want a quick check in on where the team is at after flying back. Brian Wu, a couple other little things. Check in with Shannon next on Brock and Salk.
MLB Network insider John Morosi every week with Wyman and Bob.
Well, I had the pleasure of hanging out with Dave. Got a chance to do a couple shows with him.
Oh, that was quite a weekend, my friend. And Dave, I got to tell you, Bob is all heart, man. He is all invested in these games. I'm so programmed to try to watch these tense games with an air of equanimity. But, man, I love how Bob brings the emotional investment to this. It is a great way to experience sports.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page. The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
What did you make of the tackling yesterday? Vastly improved. It's a combination of things. I think the number one leading thing is our guys just decided that we were going to tackle. We're going to keep chasing that every week. And I think the other big thing that happened was our effort was very good. It was up to our standard yesterday.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer zero down, zero interest, and zero payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
The LJ way is.
You look at stuff like this and it's like, I don't want to come into an industry and work on a place that is going to compromise how I feel about myself. I get to go to work every day with good people, and I get to enjoy what I do because I'm out there just trying to do right by people I care about, which is our community. We're going to see them at the grocery store. I'm going to see them at the sports tournaments. Two friends of our daughters came in last night just on the lot, didn't know I was there. And it was cool because you got to take them through, and they're going to buy a car for their first driver and a car for their kid going to school soon. These are the people that you're going to work with. And so you better make sure that your laundry's clean. I don't think Lee Johnson specifically, right, Speedway Chevrolet, where I'm at, I don't think they've ever had a problem with the community of being able to stand up and look them in the eye and know that they did their job well.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Lake Washington Windows was voted best in the Northwest. Celebrate by saving 25% off new Leak Armor installed windows through October. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest until 2026. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
John here with Happy Hauler. We want to help get your unwanted items to those in need. Furniture and household items you plan on throwing away? We'll take them and prioritize donating and recycling, keeping items out of the landfill, and giving useful items a second happy home. Happy Hauler is Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We work with over 20 nonprofits all over Western Washington to donate used items. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. Reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime to ride.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More. Fast internet speed.
He's got the geeks to glow big, bring him the games.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to see you on the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
A lot of folks saying that if Jeff does come in studio for the World Series, we should do it in public somewhere so everyone can see Jeff. We could talk through that. I don't know if it's possible, but we could certainly try to make something like that happen. 360 says if the M's do make it to the World Series, we can't allow Passan anywhere near Seattle until it is over. I understand that. And then, Jeff came in a couple of years ago for those who think it would be cool. It would be. And Jeff came in studio during the postseason in 2022, right? Didn't he come by and we spent some time? That's where he had those the McMuffins that he was talking about, little egg sandwiches.
Yeah.
I think we probably got him from right up the street here, bro.
I think we did.
That sounds about right.
Exactly where.
All right, let's talk to Shannon Drayer, our Mariner. Oh, no, Shannon? Oh, sorry.
She's in the shower.
Stop. Stop it. It's possible, honestly, that Shannon is not awake. Like, their travel schedule was awful. I texted Shannon to come on today and was like, hey, can you pop on at 9 o'clock real quick? I say this recognizing that I know your travel schedule is awful. And she was like, thank you for acknowledging it. I'll be there. And so if she's not, I'm sure it's just that she may very well be like trying to revive herself after the type of travel that she's had.
You know, one of the benefits, though, honestly, for the Mariners, as much as they travel over the year, as much as that brutal 10-game road trip and then another road trip, and I mean, those are hard trips, hard miles, hard hours, hard time change, that this postseason travel is not that big a deal. Days off, couple games here, a couple games there, right? It's just back. I honestly think that they want to talk about callousing. Coaches talk about callousing my players physically in football, or callousing them through conditioning in basketball, or callousing them to endure and be resilient in baseball. Don't you think that all the travel they do during the season would make this kind of travel like, ho-hum?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're probably more used to it than anybody else is, but it's still a pretty brutal schedule. I mean, they left Toronto after that game, essentially taking a reverse red eye.
But you gain 3 hours, right? You get
It's still
all those
like
back.
there's it's still weird.
Polanco was asked about that on Sunday after the game, and you could tell him like, "Oh, we got to rest on Saturday."
Well, I'm
like,
sure what are they supposed to say? Like, oh, let's make a big excuse. Let's talk to Shannon. We've got Shannon now. Shannon, good morning. Sorry to even make you do this today. I know it has been sort of crazy, but what do you think is the exhaustion level on the team? There was a lot of thought that they were running on fumes, but then they went to Toronto and just, beat the crap out of the Blue Jays.
You know, what I think and what I was afraid it would be is a lot of the times when you do make that kind of travel, it's not the first day you play, it's the second day you play. So I wasn't too surprised that the first day, well, okay, they seem fine. But I do think that when they got to Toronto, I think they did have the opportunity, and they did their travel completely different, because usually they travel right after a game, get into whatever town they're getting into at whatever time, and then have the whole day off, and then play the next day. This time they traveled the next day and then played that next day, if that makes any sense. And I think that what's probably happening right now, and I do think, Miles Straw was asked about that in the interview room, and he said, hey, this time of the year, you're just going on adrenaline. It doesn't matter. But the thing that really got me was Dan Wilson said it first, and I'm sure that this is what they have been really reinforcing to them, is like, you guys have been doing this all year. It's not a big deal. We travel more than any team out there. We get in late all the time. This is nothing. And he's been very upbeat, and I think he's been leading that way. And then all of a sudden I'm starting to hear the players say that too. So I do think that maybe they've tricked him out of a little bit of that fatigue that they by all rights should have right now.
What did your eyes see with Mr. Wu yesterday?
I think that he looked fine out there. I think that he's got a good shot at getting into one of these games, how they're going to use him. I would imagine it will be as a starter, because that's all he's ever done. But you cannot expect too much pitch count wise. He has now not pitched in a month. This is, it's supposed to be 2 weeks. It's gone on for a long time. I think you're going to be looking probably 50 pitches tops if he gets out there. And both Ryan Rowland-Smith and Charlie Furbush, we had both of them on postgame show before we left, and they said that it's going to be tough for him because he's going to be thrown into an environment. The others have been in this environment now for almost 2 weeks, and he hasn't. So they said that it's going to be very different. It won't be by any means a normal start. Him going into the atmosphere that he's going to go into and doing it without any kind of rehab start or anything like that. So I found that interesting coming from them.
Shannon, as you've taken this all in, as you watch these guys and kind of the zone that they find themselves in, is there any one moment, one player, one thing that stands out to you as being kind of the example that or the analogy for everything else that this team is all about?
Oh, wow. That's a really tough question for this time in the morning.
I know. I'm sorry. You know what? I shouldn't have gone so big.
Why don't
That's
you
my
ask
bad.
her about Humpy? Seriously.
All right, Shannon, let's ask you an easier question.
Jeez.
Because the poll's almost split 50-50 here. Do you think Humpy wins tomorrow?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
You're in the minority.
Well, I mean,
No.
Not in the minority with us. Brock and Lyle and I agreed with
Well,
her.
I'm just talking about the people, Maura, out there, our listeners that I care so much about. Their opinion is what matters more than yours.
You don't agree with me.
42.6% think Humpy wins again. 40% thinks he goes back to losing, with 17.5% believing that he retires and goes out on top and we never hear from Humpy ever again.
Yeah, I think, maybe all this could go to Humpy's head, and so he just loses that edge. And, of course, he won the last time because everything else, it was like all the outfielders falling down in the outfield and, somebody hitting a triple or an inside the park home run type thing. I think that's what we saw there. And you know what? I did just come up with a little bit of an answer for you. Edward Bizzardo. I think you are seeing a club who at this point, everybody is up for anything. Nobody is thinking about any reasons why they couldn't do anything at this point. And, there's just so much belief in everybody on that team. And it's something, and I'm trying to figure out, when did that change? And I think that you get that belief. And when did we get the belief that, hey, yeah, they're going to make the postseason? Because it was too long, not too long ago where they didn't even really appear to have a shot at that. And then when was it? They're going to win that division series, that 15-inning game. You know what? They're going to win this game. I don't care how many innings it feels like. They're going to go out there and they're just going to do it. And now that they've got 2 wins in the ALCS, do you have that feeling right now that they are just about at the World Series? And I think Bizzardo is kind of that guy, that he is going to be ready whenever for anything, and he is going to go out there and good things are going to happen. I think that's kind of been them throughout this entire run.
Well, it's just like I said at the beginning of the year, Shannon. It's all going to come down to Edward Bizzardo.
Right?
Yeah, I just don't want to take some
first
credit
name
for
right,
that.
because you wanted to call him Eduardo.
I did want to call him
Bizzardo.
Eduardo Bizzardo,
Yes,
since that's what my kids call him every time. And I said he specifically doesn't deserve that anymore. We need to get it right in honor of everything he's done. Shannon, in honor of you, thank you for getting up despite the tough travel. We appreciate it, and I guess we'll all find out what happens with Humpy together tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why we'll all be there, but he is a delight. We do like Humpy.
That's where I am going tomorrow. You guys can go for whatever reasons are important to you. There's Shannon Drayer, our Mariner insider, and we'll continue to check in with her throughout the postseason.
You know what?
It'd be pretty cool to see Shannon cover a World Series.
She's earned that right.
Yeah.
Right? Just kind of earning that right
Yeah.
to expect to win. She's earned that right. And I'll tell you this. I think they could do an amazing send-off video. On a boat, I'll call Captain Tom. Maybe Humpy can, and just have Humpy go swimming in Puget Sound.
Sure.
Just go right in the water.
I think Humpy should retire. I'm kind of with the 17.5%. And then, if he comes out of retirement, but why should Humpy race again?
Yep.
He accomplished what he needed to accomplish.
Right.
Why should he go back out there with the likes of the King, with the likes of the Silver? He's Humpy. Yes. He doesn't deserve that. Yeah. He doesn't need to be there with those other common fish. He is a fish above Brock, and there's no need for him to go concern himself with the sheep.
2 down, 2 to go.
And the Mariners extend the lead back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October!
The Mariners go for a commanding 3-0 series lead. Tomorrow, it's Game 3 of the ALCS at T-Mobile. First pitch at 5:08.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
We are on the precipice of some firsts, seeing a lot of firsts in this postseason baseball that our team is on. And make this Tuesday the day that you take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. Molly and I had heard so many of these First Mark Challenge victories over the years. The only bummer is we waited so long to take the challenge ourselves. Yeah, we were stressed. We were confused. I was assuming. I didn't want to deal with insurance like most of you don't. But here's how First Mark goes to work for you, like they have for us, my family, so many of my friends. They look at your coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage. Then, unlike you and me, they go to the market. Dozens of major carriers they have worked with for decades to find you the best fit. That's it. There's no stress. There's no confusion. They're your teammate. And they spent the last 30 years helping thousands of families successfully manage this complicated world of insurance. So please don't wait a morning longer. The only bummer when you make the call is going to be, why didn't I do it earlier? Make the call today. Take the First Mark Challenge totally free, and you might be the next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. It's all right there. FirstMarkInsurance.com. Your teammate that goes to work for you.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Northwest homeowners, when it comes to your roof, you need a name you can trust. Techline Roofing has proudly served the Seattle area for years, delivering exceptional results and lasting security. Choose Techline Roofing. Your trust is our foundation. Trust Techline.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Hey 12's Steve Rabel here for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. For men 40 and older, a simple PSA blood test can help intercept prostate cancer early. You can get the simple test before the Crucial Catch game October 20th at Ticketmaster Tailgate.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our client's case. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, Brock, it was a heck of a game for the Mariner offense yesterday. They just went out and did exactly what they were supposed to do. They pitched well enough. It was not Logan's best day, but he gave them a couple of solid innings, and then the bullpen took it from there. And the offense, tremendous. Julio hitting a home run early. Then it was Polanco's turn.
Rosarena, the go-ahead run at second. The next offering. Swinging a fly ball drilled right center field. This is back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October. A 3-run smash over the wall in right field. The Mariners flipped the script in the 5th. Jorge Polanco has done it again. It is 6-3 Mariners in the 5th inning. Incredible Jorge Polanco.
Two things jump out to me, Michael. Number one, that was not far from Mr. Suarez's home run to be the night before, right? That just missed about, 3-4 inches to that right center field. Number two, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe all 3 home runs were after guys grinded through the count. Julio looked at back-to-back pitches, and even Smoltz is like, you never see that. Like, he is never that patient. I know Polanco got ahead in that count. I know that Naylor, that may have even been a full count that he continued to work and foul. They just all grinded through and got to that point in the at-bat where they made a mistake pay in big
I don't have that number. I can tell you that of the 13 runs they've scored in the ALCS, 6 of them have come because the player reached base via walk or hit by pitch. Of the other 7, 4 of them were the home run, the batter who scores in his own home run. So it really is amazing how much walks start innings and give you an opportunity. I know we talk a lot about strikeouts. The Mariners struck out 14 times yesterday, but when you walk 6 times and hit 3 home runs, nobody remembers the strikeouts because you do what you're supposed to do with the walks and the home runs. I'm not trying to justify the strikeouts. I am saying that you can live with them as long as you get the other things, and the Mariners certainly got them yesterday. It was good to hear Shannon say that Brian Wu should be a possibility here. Dan Wilson said it as well. Maybe we're looking at him for Game 5. Game 3 is tomorrow, George Kirby and Shane Bieber. Then Luis Castillo Wednesday, probably against Kevin Gossman.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, never mind. Maybe it's going to be Scherzer. They're not going to go with Gossman if they're down 3-0 or 2-1.
They've been talking about that it's going to be some Max Scherzer, Chris Bassett piggyback in Game 4.
That seems like a bad idea. But hey, whatever. I'm not John Schneider. He can go do whatever he wants. Meanwhile, the Seahawks win again Sunday, Brock. We got the chance to talk to Mike Macdonald about it yesterday. And he's just really confident about this team, and I think that comes through.
It was vastly improved. It's a combination of things. I think
that was the wrong one. That's about the tackling. Hold on. This is the one I wanted.
I think our team, we have earned the right to expect to win the games that we play if we play our best football. But other teams this league it's a great league, man. There's a lot of great teams, a lot of great players. You got to bring your A game all the time, every day. If we do that, I believe in our guys. But I think that's our mentality.
I mean, in many ways, Salk, that you want to talk about what confidence is a team. Like the global picture of what confidence in a locker room or confidence in a clubhouse or confidence in a radio show unit is. It's that. Come on now. Like, we got enough time on task. We know we're good. Let's just go out there. We've earned the right to believe we're pretty good. Let's go out there and show everybody else what we can do. And both the hometown teams are doing it. By the way, Julio did look. It was his 4th pitch of that at-bat. He looked at 2 strikes. He looked at a ball. Polanco was 1-1, and it was a full count to Naylor. Just, wasn't just close my eyes and swing for the fences. They grinded through at-bats. Many of those strikeouts, Salk, many of those strikeouts were, lengthy at-bats, where they've gotten to see the entirety of everything these Blue Jays are going to throw at them the next couple days.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Yeah, you start thinking about what a World Series could look like, or at least following what's going on in the National League. Dodgers take Game 1 in Milwaukee, 2-1 the score. Brock, you mentioned that crazy double play. Here's what it sounded like.
And Muncy skies one to center field, hit well. This one's got a chance. Freeland going back to the wall. He leaps. It's in and out of his glove, but he caught it. And now chaos on the bases. Might have a play at the plate. The throw. Not in time. No, he's out. He's out. It's a forced play at the plate.
After review, the
call on the field. The force out at home plate is confirmed. The runner is out. It's confirmed on the runner at third base when the force out is out.
Wow. Whoa. Totally bizarre as the ball bounced off his glove, then the wall, then was caught without ever touching the ground, but the wall is considered part of the ground.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
That's where you need Timmy Kirkchin to come in.
They say there's always something new in baseball. Yeah, that's for sure. You know who's good is Bijan Robinson, and he got the ball yesterday. See you later.
A 1st and 5. Robinson off the right side, breaks free. Bijan Robinson spinning down the sideline, still going. Can they catch him? They cannot. Touchdown, Falcons, 81 yards.
There are 80-yard touchdown runs, Brock, where a running back runs right through a hole and they're gone. Yeah. There are 80-yard touchdown runs like Marshawn's where you have to make, 100 people miss and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
This was not Marshawn's, not a beastquake, but it was closer to that. Like, he did a lot of the work on that run. The moves he made to get to the outside, pretty impressive.
But then when he hit the accelerator button, it was a little different. So JSN's touchdown, I think Hawk Blogger posted this yesterday, was the fastest 21.1 miles per hour he hit. They measure all these things. Every game, every stadium now has that ability to do it. I'm curious if Bijan was a little faster than 21.1.
He looked pretty quick.
That guy could cook.
He looked pretty quick. Also got we also got the Kraken tonight, Brock. They try to get to 3-0.
The Habitants?
Yes, as they are in Montreal to take on the Habs. That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. All right.
So they're the Maple. No, what is there? They're the Habitants.
They're the Canadians. Yeah,
the Canadians.
The Montreal Canadians.
The Habs, the Habitants,
they're the Habs,
and the Canadian Habs,
yeah.
Habitants,
the Habitants, the Blue, Blanc, and Rouge.
So they think they can have 3 nicknames.
Yeah.
Is that kind of
oh yeah. I mean, they're the most arrogant group of people you've ever come across. If you think Yankees fans are arrogant, you've never met a Canadians fan. Seriously, if you think Yankees fans are the most arrogant group of people on the planet, I guarantee you, talk to a Canadians fan for 5 minutes if you can get them to speak to you in English, and you'll walk away being like, "What a pompous!" It's unbelievable.
They were essentially the Yankees for a while. They won the Stanley Cup 24 times.
And they have all of the pomposity that goes with it. Absolutely obnoxious group of people, despite living in one of the world's great cities. We'll be right back with Daniel Jeremiah, who lives in another one of those cities, San Diego. He'll be next on Brock and Salk.
2 down, 2 to go.
And the Mariners extend the lead back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October!
The Mariners go for a commanding 3-0 series lead. Tomorrow, it's Game 3 of the ALCS at T-Mobile. First pitch at 5:08.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mike Salk here, and as it gets colder and colder, man, we actually had frost last night, weather under 40 degrees. That's not a tremendous amount of fun, but it can get real cold in your house, and then you can start actually driving those heating bills up. It gets a lot worse if you don't have good enough insulation in your attic, in your crawl space. It's why you call Crawl Pros. You get them to come out and just check everything out. They'll do a free corner-to-corner inspection just like they did at my house. So if you're in need of new or more or repaired insulation, you're in luck, because PSE customers whose home were built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95%. So you got to act now. Many of these rebates end at the end of the year, including federal incentives. Let Crawl Pros come out and just get your home properly insulated before it gets any colder out. If you're worried about critters, mold, crawl space damage, anything else related to your crawl space or attic, Crawl Pros will come out and get that free corner-to-corner inspection done. Go to crawlpros.com. That's crawlpros.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level. on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car, and she had questions because she was doubling her spending budget, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. And the best path at that point was to, let's stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier. These are major life accomplishments. You have the ability to afford at this tier. You've secured one of the major needs in your life. You should be feeling a tremendous amount of pride and respect for your accomplishments. I'm just grateful that we get to celebrate it with them, that we get to be part of it in that aspect of it.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
509 says, did I miss A-Rod or did I miss here? Thought he was coming up in the show. A-Rod will be tomorrow, Wednesday at 9:30. We'll talk to Alex Rodriguez, who's sort of been the one member of the Fox crew pregame to have believed in the Mariners and have a sense of what they're doing. So should be interesting to catch up with Alex tomorrow. In the meantime, we've got Daniel Jeremiah, who joins us Tuesdays at 9:30. Good morning, DJ. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Congrats on a great start to the series. I will put it this way. I am definitely rooting for the Mariners over the Blue Jays at this point in time in the series. And then
you're an American.
The World Series.
I mean, you're an American.
Yes.
I would hope so.
Fair.
Okay.
But that's just like, that's a rooting interest. I would love to see the Mariners win. They get to the Dodgers in the World Series. Now it's life or death, and my life is in your hands. So that's when it gets to a whole nother level.
Well, I want to do two things. A, I want to thank you for being nimble and flexible, because the schedule, I texted Daniel offline and just said, hey, we may have A-Rod tomorrow. Can you move to Thursday? And he was very flexible, very gracious, and then popped back into today's window. But I also want to kind of come at you a little bit, you know, because I don't know if I can take that from you, because Friday night you're tweeting about one of the great sporting events you've ever watched, that you've got no dog in the fight, that you got no rooting interest.
Yeah.
And here we spend most of the year together. The Mariners are our flagship. You know how passionate I am about the Mariners as you are to the Padres, and yet you don't even think of us as you're watching that 15-inning affair.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of radio shows they got in Detroit, but I'm trying to keep open the option of future employment. So I like to keep that thing right down the middle.
Oh, is that what that was?
Toronto market's coming for me anytime soon.
Okay.
So that's
John
Jansen.
Was this
Jason
just sort of
Benetti?
maybe some residual bitterness over losing the Vetter Cup?
Oh, by the way, let's retire that dumb thing. The guy
'cause you
sang
lost.
the national anthem like 3 times in a row against us with the Cubs. It's like, if you were going to stack his favorite teams, I'm not even sure the Padres are in his top 5.
Yeah,
You
loser mentality.
You can't have a Vetter Cup with someone when we're not even one of his teams.
They won't get. You're right. You can't have a Vetter Cup in San Diego because you can't beat the Mariners.
We have not been able to beat the Mariners. I've been on record with that. But I'm okay with us not winning the the I-5, whatever you want to call it. But let's not call it the Vetter Cup as if the guy cares at all about the San Diego Padres. He doesn't.
You know what you would like, DJ? You would like this Mariners team. Much the same way when you were at Louisiana Monroe, and then at Appalachian State, and then in locker rooms in Cleveland and Philly and Baltimore. These Mariners are a kaleidoscope of personality. There's the big grumper. There's the big dumper. There's Eugenio Suarez. There's like everything. There's Randy Land, crazy man. Julio plays like a 12-year-old, puts his jersey on the floor the night before because he just can't wait to play. Like, my opinion is we're up close. As you watch them from afar, do you see that kind of personality, that kind of culture?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I saw it. I thought bringing Naylor over was, maybe the best move that they made, just because I was familiar with him, and I watched literally when he would hit home runs when he first came up with the Padres, and he would hit home runs, and the guys in the dugout would try and stay away from him because the helmet would get thrown and you could get ricochet damage. So it was like the guy was such a ball of energy and intensity. And then you go back not only obviously with the Padres, but in Cleveland, when you have, I think it was Garrett Cole, right? When he was doing the you're my baby thing. Like that's not against like some Joe Blow pitcher. That's against the most dominant pitcher in baseball. And he's clowning him as he's running the bases. I'm like, there's confidence, and then there's whatever Naylor has inside his body. But I thought that was a great move. But I'm not a I don't claim to know everything about baseball by any stretch, but it seems like, this Mariners team, you almost wonder if all these years they had so much pitching, and now you've paired the pitching and the power. And it's like, dude, this is literally how you win postseason games. It's starting pitching and putting the ball over the fence. Like that's how postseason baseball works.
Well, since you don't claim to know everything about baseball, I know you do claim to know everything about football. That's the kind of cockiness we've come to expect out of you, DJ, every week. But I will ask you a hard question. Okay. Who's the best team in the NFC?
I said this on the show yesterday. I honestly think it's a rematch of the game you guys saw the week before, just in terms of who's playing the best. I think those two teams are playing the best right now.
Seattle and Tampa.
Yeah, that's just what I've watched on a weekly basis. The teams that impress me the most, that when you're watching them, kind of jumps off the screen a little bit. And I say that knowing Philly's got time to figure out what's going on with them. We'll see Green Bay as they kind of go throughout the year. As they do they take it up to another gear. Atlanta's playing great. There's some good options out there, but just in terms of the week to week stuff, with what I've seen, I don't think I've seen better teams than those two.
For the third time today, Salk, I'm going to ask you to play that.
That's a pretty big deal, by the way, that you think the Seahawks are one of the two best teams in the NFC.
Can I give you my one thing on them real quick? Because I was going.
I just didn't want you to move on, bro. Like that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Well, you saw the level of football, the high level of football that you guys saw in that game the week before, and we talked about it last week with the quarterbacks playing at the level that they're playing at, and then you look at the depth that those teams have on the defensive side of the ball. But I wrote down, we had talked earlier in the year about Sam, and I said, you got to trust your eyes and trust your guys, and I thought he was doing that at a high level. when I was watching their defense, I'm like, you know what? This is like a thing I think you can translate to other teams when you're watching defensive play. When your littles tackle, when your bigs run, like that to me tells me not only do you have talented players, but you have the right culture and mentality in there. When your corners are physical and willing to tackle, and when you're big guys and you watch Jaron Reed running 20 yards down the field chasing plays and playing with that type of maniacal effort, and that's just one of many when you watch that front play. I think that's something to it. I think I'm gonna keep that one going forward. Is when you get big guys who chase and hustle and run, and you've got your corners and small guys that are physical and want to tackle. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing. And they didn't do it particularly well against Tampa. I think they were in many ways held accountable to that. And then the effort Sunday in Jacksonville was just tremendous. I played this cut a couple times, cut 12, Salk a couple times today because I love it. And I think it will resonate with you, DJ, and from the organizations that you've been in, the time around Mike Macdonald. This was with us yesterday. Salk kind of asking him near the end of the interview, like, you like your team, don't you? You feel good about where you're at. I think you'll enjoy this answer. Here was Mike yesterday.
I think our team, I think we have earned the right to expect to win the games that we play if we play our best football. But other teams this league it's a great league, man. There's a lot of great teams, a lot of great players. You got to bring your A game all the time, every day. If we do that, I believe in our guys. But I think that's our mentality.
32 teams in the NFL. How many do you think truly have earned the right to expect to win?
Oh gosh, I think more people will claim it than in reality should. So yeah. I would say there's usually on any given year you're talking about 7 to 8 teams that feel like they can go anywhere, and as long as you always say, like, if we bring our good's good enough. I think that's probably around where that number is, 6 to 8 teams.
What does it take to hit a quarterback 17 times in one game?
Well, it takes not playing against the 90s Cowboys offensive line.
No, but Jacksonville was not bad. It's not like that was
Appalachian State at Tennessee. Monroe at LSU.
Right, all right. But this is the NFL, and you're going up against a Jacksonville team that actually was pretty good offensively. To get 17 quarterback hits in one game, to go with 7 sacks and 7 TFLs, that feels like some pretty big numbers.
It feels like big numbers, but I'm telling you, when you I don't know if it was just this week, but I felt like I watched a lot of games where I saw a lot of quarterbacks get hit a lot of times, and none more so than watching the Jets debacle and going through that tape. So I feel like I've seen quarterbacks get peppered a little bit. I think it's a combination of you got to have a ton of talent and depth on the defensive front, be able to roll guys through, keep them fresh so you can play fast, and that's how you get a lot of early wins, and that's how you get hits on the quarterback. I also think it's kind of a faulty game plan on the other side of the ball, from an opposing standpoint. So I think all those things kind of combine together.
I was looking at the top 10 QBs in pass efficiency, DJ, after the slate of games and 6 weeks into it. It's pretty interesting on a couple levels. There are a bunch of Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold. Baker can move a little bit, but you're back at this stage is not a real mover. You're seeing some guys that are playing between the tackles, really executing at a high level. Does maybe what you just said about these elite defensive lines and such athletic groups on that side, in some ways, has it brought back a little resurgence of the guys that can get the ball out of their hand on time?
Yeah, I think that's the way you have to play the game. One of the trends I thought going through this last week's tape was when you watch the offenses that are doing really well, one of the things they're doing is when they're under center, they're trying to get their chunk plays from under center, and they're doing it with multiple tight ends out there. So you're under center, you have the illusion of run with play action. You have extra tight ends in there. Even if they're getting out, they're chip releasing, and so you're getting a little more time to push it vertically. Then when they're back there in the gun, everything in the gun, for all the good offense is quick. It's back foot, ball's gone, see it, get it out quickly. And there's screens built into that as well. But it seems to me like those are the good offenses. The offenses that are going to struggle are the offenses that are going to park it in the shotgun, which is pure drop back, and then trying to get to all levels of the defense from that look. That's not the appetite, for a good offense in the way the game's played right now. So having guys who can deliver the ball accurately and quickly from the gun, and then having guys that can have enough physical arm talent and tools to be under center to take your shots down the field.
It's so interesting how quickly that has changed back again, because obviously the shotgun was all the rage just a couple of years ago. And we were hearing, I mean, there were guys coming out of college who couldn't even think about taking a snap from under center. Brock asked Coach Macdonald yesterday about the under center part of the offense.
Well, all plays are at your disposal. You got to play it straight up defensively. There's not a lot. I mean, there's times where you can kind of tilt the scales in your favor under center, where teams have indicators and things like that. But for the most part, you got to play everything. As soon as you put the back offset, you cancel out a lot of offense, and that gives the defense the leg up now. There's things you can counter on offense, and that you can play the whole if they know we know game. But that's probably the simplest answer.
Gotcha.
Run game, you can get to way more stuff under center. It goes both ways. The actions come alive more often, more easily under center. You can run movements from pistol and gun, but it just doesn't time up that well, and it doesn't separate the defense as well as the under center stuff.
So what is the cat and mouse game that goes on next? So if the offense is starting to have more success going back under center, what do the defenses do to react to that?
Yeah, well, first of all, I was going to listen to that. I was thinking how the shotgun offenses for years, because a lot of college had come up to the NFL. And I remember there was this wave, and this is probably 7 or 8 years ago, of guys who were like, oh, wait till you see this now. We're going to run same side runs from the gun. They're not going to know what to do. We're going to have the back offset to the right. And instead of crossing the face of the quarterback, we're going to actually give him the ball. He's going to stay front side. And so they're all thinking we're going here and we're going to be able to have same side runs. And I was like, yeah, but if you're under center, they're not going to know on every single play, which way you're going. It's still made more sense to be under center. So that's where we are in terms of the reaction now from the defense. It's what we've had defenses get small to match, speed and space that you've seen from offenses in spread and gun. And so we've got smaller linebackers. We've got smaller edge rushers. We just try and play fast to match all the speed in the perimeter game. And now as we're condensing things back down, gosh, the Chargers doing their game last week, they're in a bunch of 22 personnel. I felt like I had gone back to 1994, the way they were playing. And so now you're going to see linebackers going to start getting bigger who can take on blocks. You're going to start seeing more heavy set, edge setters on the perimeter. So you're going to see them start to bulk back up on the defensive side of the ball to kind of go back to this, somewhat 90s brand of football that's in vogue.
Speaking of which, I was thinking about this watching Sam in particular this Sunday. I don't know why it jumped out to me even more this Sunday. Maybe it was on grass and everything else. 50% of their snaps were under center. And DJ, I was thinking why you, me, and Clapp, I think all really appreciate what Sam's doing, because he has our game from the 90s. It is drop back. It's 3-step throw a hitch. It is 5-step plant and throw a glance. It is, it's honestly back to 1990s West Coast football. Playing under center, on time, on rhythm, on target. And, the numbers, have you looked at his numbers, DJ? His
yards per attempt his yards per attempt is hilarious. Darn near 10 yards per attempt.
Yes. And the guy he's throwing it to, JSN, remember him? He's kind of, well, just wait. Wait till DK leaves. He's going to be exposed. He's open because DK stretches the defense. And, dude, JSN might be one of the 3 best receivers in all the NFL right now. I don't think that's hyperbolic.
No, I don't think that you can argue against it. Not only is it not hyperbolic, I don't think you could put up a case to say that he's not the way he's playing right now. But yeah, and the other aspect of that too is that now you can also get some boots and move the pocket a little bit from under center. But it comes down to I just love the game. It's, to me, and I don't know if it's just because of the position that we played, but I just love the rhythm to an offense and the rhythm to a passing game, and everything's tied with footwork and routes, and it connects, and it's back foot. He's breaking, balls gone. I always thought, man, like Joe Burrow was incredible to me to evaluate coming out, because he was someone who lived in the spread gun, at LSU, where they're empty a good bit of the time, like everybody's out. But he threw with such incredible timing and anticipation. And I'm like, man, I don't know if people appreciate how hard that is to do from the gun. The pace of the snap you're getting is different every single snap. Your drop and your depth is going to be different. To marry that up and time that up with receivers to be able to throw with anticipation and timing is incredibly hard. But this is like watching a symphony. When you're under center and it's, everything. You could do this in practice and do 10 reps in a row. It's going to marry up with your footwork and the depth of the route, and that's why you get this incredible. It's aesthetically pleasing to me to watch it.
Well, I would agree with that. I've really enjoyed this team so far. But with all of that being said, for all of that conversation about being under center and the style and all that, why is this team still struggling to run the ball? Because it's like the one thing that they were supposed to bank on. Like, that's what the whole offseason was about. Why are they struggling to run the ball?
I still think that can come. I can't give you one smoking gun. By the way, this is the first time and we've had probably, I don't know, since we've been doing this, maybe 20 Sam Darnold conversations, and you totally broke form, because normally it's me and Brock positive, and then Salk comes in and goes, yeah, but I didn't think his shoe was tied on that third down, and I don't know if that shows
that is
preparedness and leadership.
I
knew he
true.
threw a 60-yard touchdown, but I don't know if this is the guy going forward. Yeah.
All I've said is that he's 1 for 3 in those big late game situations.
Okay.
And I
does this one count where he threw the dagger to
hit the tight
on
end
the dot?
No, it was a great play. Don't get me wrong.
2.5 minutes to go.
Quarterback wins, man. He gets a QB win for that one as well. But what you do in those tied, within one score, tied or down right at the end, I put even more emphasis on it. That's what quarterbacks have to do.
So I said on a show yesterday that we have to retire. We're going to have a butt retirement with Sam Darnold. We got to retire the butt. Like, it's been too much now. It's too much of a sample size from last year to this year. And I'm just poking fun at you, but like, there's a lot of people that are still holding on and still saying, but wait, well, let's just wait. Well, but wait, let's get to this point. I'm like, guys, if you can't acknowledge that he's playing at an extremely high level and the sample size is large enough now, like, it's time to retire the butt.
Mm-hmm. I think the center and right guard, I don't know what your eyes see as you watch that run game. And it's not just a single Sundell and Big Boy out. They're not the only ones. Everybody contributes, as Mike said to us yesterday. But I do think that those are maybe 2 spots where Sundell size-wise can get whacked a little bit. And then the consistency of your right guard, does that stand out to you on tape at all?
I got to go back through and look at that and study the run game. I've been so enamored in watching what they're doing on the passing front and watching Sam and JSN. That I'm just like, they're still moving the ball here.
Fast forward through this 2-yard run. Fast forward through this 0-yard run. Let me see this shot.
I want to be very clear about something. I've been very positive about Sam Darnold, given that he's not Geno Smith. Let's be very clear about something. He's not Geno Smith, which is a huge upgrade for the Seahawks in my book. I've always had some concerns about Darnold and the fumbles late in games, and that goes back to USC. It has nothing even to do with the beginning of his career with the Jets. That has always made me a little worried about him. But I've really been impressed. I'm sorry if it comes off that I've given a whole bunch of buts. Honestly, I've really been super impressed, and his ability to lead this offense has been awesome, and he has been super accurate, made really good decisions, doesn't turn the ball over, runs just enough. I like a quarterback who can really run, so that's maybe one thing that's not like my ideal, but he moves well, throws well on the run. I do wonder, and this isn't a but it's a wonder, are they really stacking the box against the Seahawks, stopping the run, forcing Darnold to pass, and then getting beat by it? Is that something we're seeing? And I'm not capable of knowing that.
See, I think what's happening is, we have been such a too high shell coverage league now for a few years. And now the answer to that is what I just mentioned earlier, which is we're going to put heavier personnel. We put heavier personnel. You're going to pull a safety down. Now we've got single high. Now I've got one-on-ones. Now I've got a very, very clear picture. And so sometimes he can make it look easy at times. Because of that, but that's just good coaching. And there's still some very tight window throws. The one that he hit the Cooper Cup, working right to left was fitting the mailbox. So he's still making some of those big time throws. But yeah, he's benefiting from the style in which they're playing. I would go just real quick back to the what you saw at USC. I mean, I guess you could ask the former coach at Penn State. He's got some time on his hands, but you could ask him how that went in the Rose Bowl at the end of the game.
Not good for him. Hey, how many other teams, last couple minutes here, DJ, how many other teams have an interior defensive line that can put Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy on the field at the same time together?
There's a lot of teams with one. Off the top of my head, I mean, I see a lot of there really are a lot of dominant defensive tackles in the league. but I'm trying to run through the Rolodex of teams that have 2 of them. It's more so you've got a dominant D tackle paired up with a big time edge rusher, but rarely where you have 2 dominant DTs. So,
I mean, Murphy's turned
nobody's
into
playing
what they
better
hoped,
than them,
right? Yeah, I mean, Murphy, when he was drafted, he was their number 1 defender. Why Les Snead wanted to come up and get him, why others wanted to come up and get him. Latu was not medically cleared for him. They felt like he was their dude, and he is turning into a war daddy, is he not?
Yeah, he's big time. And, the thing with him is he can win straight up, and he's also got a really good feel on games, where they can loop him and do a lot of different things with him. He plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage. He's firm and stout versus the run. But I've been a broken record. I'll say it every week on here. He's great. I'm telling you, Leonard Williams is the one that makes that whole thing go every single week. And even when you go watch, I was excited because I don't know if we said it before, but when Chenna Nwosu was down here with the Chargers, one of my top 5 players I've ever been around. He is such a great guy and was just always so kind and easy to root for. So I'm watching his production in this game because he had a nice game. And I'm like, a lot of it's courtesy of Leonard Williams creating a car crash.
He's good, man.
Yes,
He's really good. DJ, we got to run. Sorry to cut you short. We'll do it again next week. Already looking forward to it. And that'll be, Monday is game day. So we're going to have to figure out what day to talk to you because we usually have coach at 9:30 on after game. All right, we'll work through it. We'll talk to you next week.
We'll figure it out.
Either way, thanks for being flexible. We appreciate it, man. There goes Daniel Jeremiah, tremendous guest, one of many today. Tomorrow, Brock, Joel Klatt at 8:30, Alex Rodriguez tomorrow at 9:30, gearing up for Game 3 of the ALCS. Bump and Stacy coming up next. We'll catch you guys at 6. And until then, the hay.
In a remarkable barn today.
See you, everybody.
Get to the chopper! Two down, 2 to go.
And the Mariners extend the lead back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October!
The Mariners go for a commanding 3-0 series lead. Tomorrow, it's Game 3 of the ALCS at T-Mobile. First pitch at 5:08.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again, permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com, K2VisionRLE.com.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Just like our favorite baseball team, Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington is stepping up to the plate. Mention Go Seattle when you book, and you'll knock it out of the park with 15% off and 12 months, no payments, and no interest. Schedule today before this deal is gone.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package.